Yeah, that was the full version of Sports Goombahs theme song. I'm Cashy the King. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. Got Mikey Walls over here.
I prefer to be called Mikey Gronk today.
Mikey Gronk with no hat on. This is Sports Goombahs webcast radio show broadcast Super Bowl post-game activity. We're going to call it because we got a lot of activity going here. I'm your guy, Cashy the King. We got a good one for you tonight. We got a good one for you. We got all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. I'll say this much. It's amazing how we go through an entire week, right? And you have nothing. We have nothing. And then we go for the 3 quarters of football, and I'm worried. I got nothing. I'm watching a regular bang-bang football game. There's no excitement, no nothing going on here. Halftime was a debacle. We'll talk about that a little bit. The bang! 4th quarter. Complete chaos. Football, NFL football at its best. They're probably one of the best quarters of football we saw all year.
It was actually half a quarter, wasn't it? It was a little under 9 minutes.
Whatever. It's the quarter. It's the 4th quarter. That's what I'm talking about here. But I didn't know where to start. To me, all I can just say, all I want to do is laugh out loud. It's like I want to laugh as much as I can to Pete Carroll. I still haven't heard an answer to the question of, Don, how are you doing throwing the ball? You don't throw that ball in October, you don't throw it in November, and you damn well don't throw it in the Super Bowl at that point. I don't care what it is. And I tweeted and I Facebook seconds after that happened. That is the worst play call in the history of sports. Not the history of the NFL. The history of sports as we know it today. There isn't a call worse. No one has made the worst call. I don't care about the college where Weber calls timeout and doesn't have any. He blows the national championship. Trying to go down the line. What are our calls that we couldn't believe that were done? There were just maybe there's 10 or 15 bad ones in the past in time itself in sports. None worse than this. And I don't know what they were thinking. And I heard the interviews and we talked. You know, everybody's listening to nauseam about all. And Pete Carroll saying the same thing. He looked shook up. But both interviews, he looked like he's like stuttering and mumbling. Looked like he was something wrong. I think he's gonna have a heart attack. He's sweating. He was all pale, especially that last ESPN during late night, going around at 12:30 when they got him again.
Both game interviews, so I can comment.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
How did he not?
It looked awful, and he blew his football. I don't care the great play that was made by Butler. That's another story. That guy had an up and down football game to say the least. He should have been flagged for interference in the 3rd quarter, or maybe the beginning of the 4th quarter. That one pass play we saw
where he basically tackled him.
No, he took his hand out and tripped him. Yeah. Like he threw his hand out there. It was far off the play. That was him. He was for a rookie.
I didn't realize that was him.
A rookie quarter. He was involved in this football game, and he should have been the MVP.
No.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
You don't become MVP off of one. But
no, listen.
If your quarterback had a game like Russell Wilson, maybe, but not Tom Brady.
Let me put it this way: if you take the definition of the most valuable player in the game, he was the most valuable player in that football game, bar none.
Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form was he.
So
at the
It's not the
definition.
most valuable. It's the most valuable player, not the most valuable play. He had the most valuable play with that last stop. But one play does not make you the most valuable player.
I don't know. Him letting that guy catch that ball, that was pretty valuable to lead up to that play. I mean, this dude was involved in 30 seconds of football like no other man has ever been in the NFL. In the Super Bowl, he let that guy catch that ball, bouncing around, catching on his chest, right?
that's a great.
And then he
catch.
comes.
Well, yeah, it's not letting because he did everything he was supposed to do.
Listen,
He's
I'm just
wild.
look. I know what happened. We all saw what happened. I'm just saying the event in itself that you're going to see there, where a player is involved like that, especially a rookie. Okay, I mean, he's a walk-on rookie. Was he even play the whole season? I'm not
Practice
sure he played
squad
the whole
twice,
season.
right?
Yeah, he was a practice squad. He
Yeah.
undrafted.
Well, let me tell you something, man. He's in Disney World right now. He'll be on Letterman. He'll be on Kimmel, Fallon, the whole 9 yards. Stern. Everybody will grab him. No one want to talk to this guy. And it's refreshing how humble he was.
And he didn't know what to say
Right.
either.
And we had to say it to Sal Palantonio too. So there's as soon as that guy gets in your face, you want to throw up or get out of there as fast as possible. How about them dissing him too when he tried to interview Belichick and
Yeah,
pushed him away? That was great.
That was
Me and Sal Pal, the king of the crap tosser. He just throws everything against the wall. See if it comes out.
I like South Bell.
Ah, for Christ's sake.
What?
And guess what? Sports Goombahs, they are brought to you by Auto Magic Car Care. Yeah, check them out. 215-322-2561. Mike and Matt, that clean your car like nobody else and make it look sparkling. Also, Apple Public Adjusters. All this wind outside, you're gonna need some insurance claims. I think my whole roof's rumbling out there. I don't know what's going on.
Speaking of which, you know who else you're going to need? Seal roofing.
Okay, can I get Apple's phone number out first? 215-783-1282. The emergency claim line, give them a call. 215-783-1282. Also, Seal Roofing. So all your roof problems with one call. And that number is big. Go ahead.
215-533-4066.
Hey,
To know by heart. They fixed
Yeah.
my roof too. I won't put it out there if they weren't good,
I hear you. Also, M. Resnick Plumbing, Delaware Valley's best plumber. He will unclog your toilets and make it look easy. Give him a call, 215-259-5018. M. Resnick Plumbing is our chief sponsor of the Sports Goombahs. All right, and wait, shout out. Hey, look, our girl Kate. If you're with the show for a while, Kate was here when we were on the radio and also when we were on the internet radio there for a while without video. Kate was sitting in, and then she got pregnant. Couldn't make the show on Mondays. Teaching, she had, how about 8-pound baby?
No, it wasn't 8 pounds. It was 6 pounds 10 ounces. I do believe
that's a
20
skinny
inches
baby.
long.
When you have a 7'2" husband and you just kicked out
She's 5 foot. She's 5 foot.
right.
What, 1,
5
2?
foot, nothing there. So congratulations to Katie, to her little baby boy Corbin.
Yep.
And she'll be joining the show maybe in a couple weeks to get back in the saddle here, so we get a little female perspective of sports in this joint. You know what I mean? You have to move over a little bit. I'm gonna put her right here. Put you right here, the mic on there. So, Malcolm Butler. There it is, the name. Malcolm Butler, the star of the Super Bowl 2015. His name's being chatted all over the place. Who would have thought? Now, to me, I had New England and the over. But what was amazing about this is
Winners.
winners. Of course they're winners. And it was a whole week of winners. What was amazing about this, for the most part, is that the ebb and flow of people, and you were seeing videos and tweets and I guess what do you call it? Instagram back of what was going on in living rooms and parties all over the place. As ebb and flow it is, and you watch these people, and the suicide watch is on for everybody. Even me sitting there watching this thing, seeing that catch, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that's 3 Super Bowls in a row. This guy's going to get beat by funky catches. That's ridiculous, man. It's just, and you think this guy had to be 6-0 in Super Bowl. Brady could be 6-0 in Super Bowl, but if there were decent bounces or something went, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to explain that. I'm still looking at him. He's going to throw up there on the bench. He's got to throw up right there in front of everybody.
Yeah, they kept cutting to him on that last drive.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, his head down. Yeah. Something. Not obviously not out of like sadness or anything, but just like knowing that he did everything he could do. It's out of his hands. That's got to be frustrating. And obviously, with that last play,
You
had
know,
the greatest feeling. in the
he
world.
had a great game. He was on. You know, he made the plays when he had to. The last drive, you knew 10 points wasn't enough. You know, and Seattle knew it too. I just think it's almost like Seattle offense. They pulled the brakes back a little bit. I think in the fourth quarter.
Well, I don't know what they did in the fourth quarter because I feel like Lynch wasn't getting the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like they didn't want him to be a part of the end of that game. You know, and like I know what everybody's saying. Lynch was. You know, we might as well get to this guy. Okay. Some people say he's a jerk. He's no good for the sport. But if you watched what he did, okay, if you're him and you want to make a whole lot of money, this is what you do. Right or wrong, he goes to that Super Bowl. He sits there and spends 5 minutes like some kind of zoo animal. And everybody's standing around watching him, looking at him, cameras, more cameras than any player out there, microphones, asking the same stupid questions for 2 or 3 days straight and getting the answers that they don't want. But they're coming back for more. And they're taking pictures of it. He's sitting up there. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a spectacle. And this is going to make, and he's getting more popular and more popular as he does this. And then all of a sudden, you flip on a couple of channels off the sports, and there he is doing commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already starting for him. So the one thing he needed, Lynch needed to get that MVP, the Super Bowl, and that would have been unbelievable for him because
Well, it would have been bad for the NFL, though.
no, he would have talked that because then the money starts. Okay, if he doesn't talk after that, he doesn't get on the shows. He doesn't become part. You can't get Letterman calling you saying, "Hey, we want to get Lynch on the show." Maybe he's not going to talk. You don't know. You don't want to take that chance. So after the Super Bowl, of course he's going to open up. Absolutely.
I don't know if he does because look, if
he's named MVP,
even if he's named MVP, I'll say this: if you got, I'm just throwing this out there, arachnophobia, which is a fear of spiders, you're not going to change your reaction. But public speaking,
no, he does. He's done it.
Maybe he doesn't like it or whatever.
He's done it.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to change your point of view.
No, but you understand? He did talk before he got into battles with the press. He had no problem talking. He talked in college. He didn't.
Yeah, it's not fear.
Yeah, he's not fear at all. Right.
Maybe he doesn't like it or whatever. But I don't see you changing your whole perspective because you won the MVP.
I'm not saying he would or he wouldn't either way, but just like you were saying, I'm not saying he would, but let's say if Leno or I don't think I'm on the show anymore, but Letterman, if Letterman calls you and I'm not. He may say no because you're not going to say yes if you're and Letterman's like, hey, how about that game? It was great.
Yeah, it's not how he is.
How did you feel when you won? It was great. You can't do that. They wouldn't put you on for that.
I've heard him talk. Okay, he's talking.
He does commercials.
Right, does commercials.
He did a Skittles commercial. He talks.
Which was pretty good.
It was hilarious. But it
But
wasn't.
has no fear of talking.
None.
What he did, and his handlers or his PR was excellent. It's perfect. He made himself a household name during the 2 weeks. He had every reporter. He had the local guys here from Philly. What's that guy Eskin from whatever channel? Over asking the same stupid questions over and over out there. Embarrassing. I mean, what they should have done is walked away from him. Don't even give him the time. They stood there.
You can't though.
I'm saying the reporters stood there and they stared at him and they were waiting for something to come out of this guy's mouth. He's sitting there behind his desk, probably nonstop laughing.
And that's why I believe that even if he won the MVP or did anything, he's not going to change that because you know why? Because we're talking about it. No. Everybody else is talking about it. Everybody talks about it.
But that's not
it was his major selling point.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't his motive though. Major selling point. When you get, I know what it was all about. When you get to a point of if he doesn't talk as the MVP, and it's all mute anyway, he loses the money. This is about money, man. That's all this is about. This isn't about him not liking the press and stuff. This is about him cashing in on his NFL career. He goes and he doesn't talk after the Super Bowl. He's hurting himself. Right now, he's saving himself $500,000 because that's what they're going to find him. So you don't want to lose $500,000, okay, for not showing up. So you show up because he's there to make money, not lose money. So you're not going to speak after the Super Bowl when you've been named MVP. That's just stupid. That's bad business. And that's what this is all about. That's what this whole stage is all about, okay? Nothing else. Nothing else at all. You have a bad conversation with some of the press and you go into a show, but this is how he was last year. And he comes off of something that happened last year in the first place. He didn't talk all year. He's been fined several times for not talking to the media. $500,000 is a lot of money. Even for billionaires, $500,000 is a lot of money. But there's no problem talking at all. Not at all. No, not at all. No way or form. Anyway, doesn't make a damn difference because he wasn't the MVP. And the MVP of the game, Brady, he does all the talking he can do. Okay? If he doesn't talk, he lets Gronkowski talk for him. And Gronk likes to talk. And he's probably right now celebrating with chicks and booze.
I can't imagine how Gronk celebrated.
He's infamous. And there was a lot of, it was one of my, clip arts pulls for the show. There's him dancing. I think, and how about Bob Kraft? And he looked like he was having some. He wasn't hurting. And even in the video, he's like dancing. You see the video of him dancing?
Sober, like a career sober. But if you're around Gronk and you just want a Super Bowl, you're gonna get drunk.
Oh yeah.
Gronk's gonna bring it out of you. That man can party.
Give us a call, 267-563-2893, 267-563-2893. Give us a call, send us a text. You want us to talk on the Sports Goombahs or you have something to say about the Super Bowl or anything else that happens in sports. So go back to the game a little bit. I mean, I still wonder. I think this could be the demise of Seattle as far as the team versus the coach here on what went on. Because from what I can see on interviews and some of the shows today, a lot of the players on what was on there. Each one of them said the same thing. Usually you say, well, that's our coach. He makes the call. I didn't hear that this time. I don't know. I can't understand why. I don't know why he wasn't running the ball. Running the ball all game. They said things to lead up to saying he should have run the ball, but they weren't going to say. Bottom line, they weren't going to go against their coach. And something tells me something went wrong there because the way Pete Carroll can't answer the question and goes on to some kind of a rambling thing. Let's go to the phones here. Sports Goombahs, welcome to the show.
Hey, hello, Cassie. This is Jeff Brandy. How you doing?
All right, man. What's going?
Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful.
Everything is beautiful? You called up to tell me everything is beautiful?
Well, I want to take a view that is really not popular, with the Super Bowl. I think that was not a bad call. As a matter of fact, it was a good call, and it was even executed well. It's the looks that you get from the ground. If you get an aerial view of that play.
An aerial view? Wait a minute. I mean, you talking from the blimp or are you from the top of the stadium?
CIA?
Yeah, I'm from anywhere. But if you look at how it's set up, New England had no less than 7 players in the box. Actually, they had 9 people in the box. Not in the box was Bennett and Browner. Now, Bennett made the play, and the reason he made the play was because Browner didn't. Browner blocked Lockett.
Yeah. Well,
who was supposed to attack. Who was supposed to handle Bennett, but Bennett was freed up because at that moment, now Percy, as a result, Percy couldn't make the play because Bennett was able to make the interception, obviously, and it happened so fast, and there was no way that even with Marshawn Lynch that Seattle was going to run that ball in. So, and I think it was a good play.
Listen to me, Jeff. All due respect, and I know you know what you're talking about. You can't be serious, right? You don't, by rule, put a ball in the air, okay, to give it a chance to be picked off. It's bad enough to try not to fumble the ball. You don't want that thing floating in space where someone else can grab it at any moment in this game, okay? You guys excuse Victor Yorkie up there. We got a pizza delivered by Tony's Pizza. And, the dog smells a little food. She goes nuts over there. Anyway, Jeff, what I'm saying is that you cannot throw that ball. You got to keep that ball in your hands, in somebody's hands for those 3 plays. You don't let that ball breathe. That thing's tucked away for 1 yard. Whether it's a quarterback sneak, and you know what? Here's the thing. The Patriots, they're letting them score. It's almost like they're going to let them score anyway. so they get the ball back. And they know they're going to score. And the Patriots know Lynch is going to score. So it's like he's been banging out 4 to 6 yards with them the entire game.
They couldn't stop him for most of the game, especially, and he was gaining momentum. So there was no reason to think that they weren't going to stop him there.
Yeah,
couldn't treat it like that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
go ahead.
That's the counterpoint to that.
I know. Go ahead. I know you want to have a counterpoint, but I don't. Look, man, to me, they had the Super Bowl right there. Rush once, boom. Rush twice. Run them outside. Run Lynch outside if you have to. Then give him an open field. Let him pick some gas and bolt into somebody. That's what he does, man. I mean, come on. Most teams don't have a player like that. Can you get this done for him? They did. He's right there. Or you're gonna put the ball in the air. If you have to put it in the air, if you just have to do it, well, roll him out. Roll your quarterback out.
Well, let me interject. You don't have to.
You don't. You should.
You don't.
You know you should.
You had the time. You had the time on your side. You had the timeouts on your side. You didn't have to.
Second down. It's second down.
And what was the rush? What was the rush anyway? Exactly. You had plenty of time. Like I said.
As I'm watching the game, I'm thinking to myself, and it's funny, the first time, like, you might just want to let him go in. Like, in my head, I'm like, actually, I said out loud, I was like, you might just want to let him go in here. And he goes down to 1. I'm like, all right, you either got to call timeout now, or you're trying to stop him and you let it go. And they let it go, and I'm like, oh, man, this is bad. So I really wanted the Patriots to win.
Right.
And then, of course, what happened.
Yeah, that's the other line of thought, Brendan. Like, this is like Cassie's always with the pro wrestling. I mean, you go back to the Detroit game with the no pass interference with pass interference.
Right.
You go to the game. This Brian, I don't care what anybody says. That says he didn't catch the ball. He caught the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Green Bay game. How does Green Bay blow that? And then this game, I mean, how did Seattle blow the game? I mean, is this all staged? Is Vince McMahon really
Sure, Jeff, in a way, it's not staged. It's not fixed when it comes to fixing players and stuff. The league itself is orchestrated in a way of entertainment here. I mean, come on, it is what it is. They can make things happen by messing with the rules, and they've done it for the past 4 or 5 years already. Okay, they make the game. We talked about this in the morning.
After yesterday's game. Oh, all right, go ahead. You go ahead.
You can't fix games. This game wasn't fixed. You can't fix those catches. You can't fix that defensive play. And you got to remember, if you look at Butler's play, what's great about the play is he takes out the receiver before he gets to the ball, and he's within his 5 yards. So the play was, it was almost like the play was mentally there. It's like he was prepared. He did everything perfect on that play. Mm-hmm. He made the hit. He focused on the ball, and he didn't just go to knock the thing down. Some players just go to knock it down. They pat, just knock it down, and move on. He took that ball. He took out the receiver, and then he took the ball, and he went down with it. It was perfect.
He actually stepped 2 steps forward and then went down to make sure he wasn't in the end zone still. Just so they could run out the clock.
Yeah, but the way, just watch the slow-mo way he took out the receiver. I mean, boom, knocked him right out.
Definitely contact. There was a collision.
But it was okay.
And it's funny because all game.
It was Browner who took him out.
No, it wasn't. No,
Butler. He jumped in front of the rail.
Yeah, Butler took him out. Butler took the receiver out. He's the one who put the hit and picked the ball off at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, well, the play was.
But the thing was, Rocket was supposed to be blocking.
Yeah, Jeff, but you know what? You know what the problem is? That shouldn't even be a thought in this. This shouldn't be that difficult. The play you call shouldn't be that intricate. The play you should call is take my entire offensive line and you bolt forward because I got a 500-pound beast mode, whatever you want to call it, guy behind me.
And it's not like they weren't moving the ball well.
The whole game they were.
Yeah,
they took the whole game. You know what it was? I think I'm not sure. I don't know what they were thinking because you can't get an answer from anybody. No one wants to come forward. Offensive coordinator doesn't want to come forward. Pete Carroll's still.
Well, I got the same thing.
Right, and Pete Carroll still mumbled to himself. He probably was still mumbling today. He just, he blew his second Super Bowl.
I mean, we've all made mistakes in life where we thought afterwards, what the hell were they thinking? And that's probably what Pete's going through. It's just that he doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know what he's doing.
What bothers me? I'll tell you what bothers me more than anything in sports. And it's the control theory of coaches. Jeff, I appreciate the call, man. We're gonna move on, all right? Because I gotta go to a break real soon. You got it? All right, my buddy.
All right.
All right, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Have a good
Thanks. You too, buddy. Thanks. Jeff Brandy's from Big Game. That's trendbetting.com. You know, if you want to check out Jeff and his plays, you go to trendbetting.com. One of the best handicappers in the country, bar none. Not as good as me, but they're pretty damn good.
That's like two. But
What was I saying?
you were saying, and I know where you're leading to. You were talking about it was the ego. No, the ego's about the control freaks and
Oh yeah, no.
They can't admit they're wrong.
No, not that. You can't. If I'm Russell Wilson, and that's the play that's coming in,
You can't override it.
why not?
He hasn't earned the right one. It's a bit because if he's wrong,
He's got third down if he's wrong.
yeah, but he's gonna get an earful.
Airful from who?
Coach, he's not. He's
Okay.
Tom Brady, he's not Peyton
But what
Manning, he's not
happens?
Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
what happens here to that? And when he goes back to the huddle and says, guys, Carroll's nuts, man. He just lost his head. This is what we're going to do. There's no way
I think the guys listen to him.
There's no way I'm putting this ball in
You're
here.
not gonna run a different play. The quarterback calls a play. You're running the play.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to think about what you're doing there, though. I mean, if you're a quarterback,
Now, all right, well, then maybe it just goes to the fact that Wilson doesn't have balls. Maybe it just comes right down to that. Where if that same play come in, Brady would say absolutely not.
absolutely not. What are you nuts?
And Manning would say absolutely not. Maybe it comes down to the fact that Russell Wilson doesn't have that in him. He doesn't have that in him to say, you know
You
what?
see the look he gave
I'm
the
calling my
sidelines after he threw it.
He didn't even look.
Like,
You know what?
he looked at the sidelines and gave the look where I told you that, like a mental look, like I told you that was going to happen.
He did not look that upset after the play. That's what keyed me into what was going on there. I specifically looked at him, and most quarterbacks have been on their knees with their hands in front of their face, especially a young one like you're talking about. This guy looked away. No, nothing on his face would have told you what just happened there. He walked around. He didn't have a smile, a grin, a shake. Wasn't looking in the eye. Wasn't grabbing his ear holes or whatever. He walked off to that very calmly. It's almost like he knew. The hell are we doing? How can we call this play? And if that's the case, man, and the money you get paid in the NFL, change the goddamn play of this line of scrimmage. You're not a call audibles down there.
Maybe, as I said, maybe A, he hasn't earned the right to do that. Maybe B, he just doesn't have the balls to do
Yeah, well, when you see them line up like they
it's
did.
only one of the two.
Yeah, when they lined up, because you
Is
put
he a yes man? He just said, oh, yes, sir. Do whatever you say, coach. Yep.
They earned a lot of respect in the NFL. They found out this guy changed the play and won the Super Bowl because he changed
Well, of course,
the play.
if he changes the play, Marshawn scores, I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll's not going to get upset with that. He'll probably say, hey, you call the play, or, you run the play I called. But, of course, he's not going to be mad. He just won the Super Bowl. But if it backfired and, obviously, God forbid, Lynch fumbles, then that's that he just ruined all trust he has as his coach.
I don't know. I say, it's easier. What I've always said is, and I think it's a very good old saying is, it's always easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially if you have a pretty good idea. If he's smart enough, like I think he is. I mean, up until that halfway through the fourth quarter, my pick looked good. I thought I was like, oh my God, this is, they're actually holding. To me, it was an interesting game because I like defensive games. I'm more
It wasn't
so.
so much a defensive game.
Well, it
went over.
Yeah, but not till the very end.
It went over and over.
I know. It was fun. For me, it was.
Game.
Yeah, but for me, it was. Yeah.
For anyone, I can't imagine anyone not being entertained by
I liked both. I had the highest ratings ever of any TV sporting event. So
every year,
everybody kept bitching about it. They were worried about it.
Come on, man. What went on this week between the flat balls and Lynch? They had everybody reporting on this stuff.
And there's a lot of good storylines, even outside of any controversies. You had a team looking to repeat and a team letting to win their fourth. And
you had a quarterback ready to step up as maybe one of the best in the league.
A quarterback and a coach. There was either way, you're going to hear something out of it, for legacy-wise.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if he makes this play call, how many coaches are on that sideline in Seattle? 10, 15 coaches? No.
Yeah, but only one that matters.
Yeah, but nobody can get into his head and say, well, hey, Pete, wait a second. Let's call timeout. If we don't have one, run the ball. Just do not put that ball in the air. Don't give that ball any airtime for another hand to get a hold of it.
I mean, me and my job, I'm just a peon. If my CEO made a call, I can't say, hey, don't do that. He's going to tell me, get back in line.
But here's the point. Here's the point, though. At some point, CEOs, and I'll break it down the line, like, if you're
CEOs, because COOs,
see, you have guys. In order to make any job work, you compartmentalize or whatever. You break down. Everybody has their job to do.
Department.
Yeah, compartmentalize.
Department.
Whatever. You're in charge of. You're in charge of a certain amount of people, and I'm in charge of you, and blah blah blah. It's like the brigade system is what we call it in the kitchen. There's a chef, a sous chef, and all that. Each of them have roles to fill. As the chef, I have to be able to trust the people that are running their departments in order to make my kitchen work. Same thing on a coaching thing. If you're the coach and your offensive coordinator says, I think you're wrong, you should probably run it. It's a safer bet, and plus we got Marshawn's been a beast. Or in that situation, if you're in that situation, do you not even ask?
Even if you're the coach, you're the one who made that call. You obviously made that call because you think that's the best play. So if somebody underneath you says, I don't agree with you, you say,
but that's their job.
We'll see what happens.
That's their job to question you. Well, what about this?
Maybe somebody did, but it doesn't matter because he's the one that has the final say, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if I know the question. If obviously if the O-line coach makes that call, he's not going to listen to that.
No, exactly. I mean, the higher up the food chain, if your offensive coordinator makes that, okay, yeah. The defensive back coach, why don't you want to run the ball? Shut the hell up, sit down. You know what I mean? Exactly. I mean, like, look, when they won and the Gatorade was flowing on the other side, Belichick had his arms around Zach Galifianakis right there as defensive coordinator, guy with a big old beard. So obviously, to some, you trust. He had all of his coaches in there with him. It wasn't just him. So you got at some point you got to defer. You're the offensive coordinator. You picked the play. Who knows? Maybe he didn't. But
hey, you get a little too. Marcel Lynch, Marcel Lynch. I mean, that damn ball. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Like that ball.
But apparently, according to Yahoo, he was fine with that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's it. They said Marshawn.
That's a bunch of Yahoos over there.
Marshawn was okay with it.
When he got home to his family he loves, he sat down in that chair and he goes, "Come on, man. Come on, man."
Well, 99% of the world outside of Pete Carroll says you should have given it to Marshawn. Maybe you should have.
99.5. 99.9. The only one I've heard so far is Jeff Brady. He just called in. He says, "Man, it was a good play," But hey, look.
It was a good play because he picked the Steelers.
No, he actually was on Seattle. I know that for a fact. I don't know. I forget what he was on. Regardless, it was a great end to a Super Bowl. I mean, you can't the ebb and flow.
I think from start to finish,
excitement.
It wasn't even just the fourth quarter.
It was a football game.
It was great.
Yeah, they put the flags away. Only took them out a couple times.
Three total.
It was bang bang. They were hitting each other. Helmets popping off. It was nice. And Chris Collinsworth called a great game.
Oh,
and this is by far his. And I'm critical of him sometimes because he talks too much. But it's fascinating how he did his HBO Real Sports thing on HBO. Did the whole thing on him, how he prepares and what he's done for life, and his kids and all his kids are like athletes and Harvard and stuff. One of his kids does sports too. It sounds just like him. Anyway, he talked about his preparation to the game and how he does things, and I appreciate it a little more. Now I know where he's coming from because he doesn't watch. Like he said on Real Sports, he doesn't watch the ball. Very interesting. And that's what I tried to do yesterday too, but we can't because we don't get the right angles.
Yeah.
So he watches the offensive line, how it moves. That'll tell you where the ball's going. So every time, and I paid attention to him last night to see what he would say, and I can hear that. Yeah, he's not watching the snap. He's watching the other stuff that's going on outside the ball, and he's letting Al Michaels do what he does. So what's nice about him and Michaels, and now I figure out what makes them so good is they're not just a color guy and a play caller. They're both doing color and play together there, and that's why Sunday Night Football has got the highest rating now in when it comes to football during the week.
Oh yeah,
way past Monday night. Monday night's not even on the and they're getting better games now too.
It's always better games.
Yeah, something like Sunday Night Football's the place to be. Monday night is not that's not the deal. But Collinsworth was good, and I love the way he freaked out at the end. He was like, "What, are you kidding me?"
How do you not run that ball?
Yeah, so I was gonna say.
And I remember him even saying, he says, "I'm getting on the special." He was saying he gets ridiculed a lot from teams and from players because he's got a lot of friends out there. He says, negative stuff during the game when they do something wrong.
Yeah.
He's very non-biased. Even his
that's his job. But when they hear, what was it last year? He was very big on the Eagles, and I think it was on the Real Sports, on the HBO show. Is that what it is?
Real Sports.
Yeah, he expressed that he was like a big Eagles fan because of what he thought that Chip Kelly was going to, all that stuff. But here, I mean, you couldn't tell that in any of the games that they played because he calls it straight. He calls it straight. Yeah.
Throw any opinions you have out the window.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's hard to do that. A lot of man love here and there.
This freaking dog just drank my coffee. What? I'm telling you, it was up to the Winnie the Pooh's ass. He should just drank the whole thing down. Are you kidding me? This dog's gonna be up all night. I'm shitting all over the place.
Oh, he's not so good for the puppies there. You know what I mean?
I put a little milk in, a little creamer. You know, she loves that Land O'Lakes cream. Loves for some reason. She's like, give it without, you know, she.
When she has her espresso.
I'm gonna watch that pizza over there. Who's that pizza from? He's got pizza delivered to the show.
Yeah, that's why I had to step out from there. We got Tony's King of Pizza.
Oh, from Benson?
Benson.
Oh, no kidding,
nice.
yeah.
Dropped off a pie for us. Compliments of Jelly over there.
What's the phone number of that place?
If I remember correctly, pressly 215-638-1090.
Listen, you advertise on the sports Goombahs. You're lucky we get your phone number. We can get our own phone number right.
It's on the box, but you're covering up the.
I used to work there. That's why I think I'm at time.
And a half a cup. It was up to Pooh's ass there, right? The dog drank the. Oh man, I'm Shevitz. I'm just going for a sip. I needed a sip right now. I'm looking down. There she is, eating away, drinking away. What are you gonna do? I know what we'll be doing later, man. We'll take her out for a long walk.
Thank God you didn't spike it with the
I don't care how
Patron.
cold it is outside. Yeah, I don't care how windy and cold it is out there.
We were making a joke about spiking it with Patron at the beginning of the show. Thank
Yeah,
God.
right.
To be hobbling up there.
267-563-2893. That's the Sports Goombah smoke phone. You can call us or text us. And text us. Your thoughts on the Super Bowl yesterday and anything else that you know. About this commercials. We're gonna take a break now. We'll come back and we're gonna talk about commercials because we're gonna tell you the crummiest ones instead of saying the best ones. Because quite frankly, I got my own thoughts about this whole commercial crap, and you know, to me, it's basically pretty much a waste of time. You know, to make a big deal about these commercials because right now, you have to go back 20 years before a commercial that actually would stun me, saying, "Wow, that's unbelievable." You know, because obviously you're not using technology. I mean, you mean sticking Steve Buscemi with what was the
Snickers?
Well, it's not.
Good.
I like that. The Brady Bunch one?
Get to the break.
Go to the break.
You like that one? You like that because they put Danny Trejo and Buscemi put in electronically with the Brady Bunch makes it a good commercial?
Compared to what else we got.
Well, Cassidy King, I got my chef to the left, got Mikey over there with his supporting no hat and his Patriots, which will tell us one thing that he's
and his Astro Boy haircut.
What are you going to do?
You probably don't know that either.
Sports Goombahs, we'll be right back. Look at halftime crap. Look at her.
What's wrong with any of that?
Fucking dog, man. You gotta be kidding me. Which is why she's whipping it down. Take that upstairs because she's gonna. Yeah, it's
to put it
gonna smell make her shit. Oh God.
BZI Group Inc. for your individual and small group health insurance needs. BZI offers free instant online insurance quotes and applications from major health insurance carriers. BZI Group is dedicated to a no-nonsense approach to health insurance. They focus on giving you the insurance you need in a timely and cooperative manner. Whether you're looking for individual and family, group, seniors, life, or long-term coverage, BZI can help. For additional information or to speak with an insurance expert, call 1-800-531-4834 or email them at www.bzigroup.com.
I'll pay your booking so we can start collecting. They have the best 80 hours in the world. All in one place. Learn a job. Need you money. Check Jeff Brandy and all the experts at Trend Betting
Seal Roofing and Contracting does it all, whether you need simple repairs before the next big rainy season or a whole new roof. Maybe you need new siding or windows. You can be certain that when you hire Seal Roofing, you're hiring the best. Available 7 days a week with 24-hour emergency service and free estimates. Call 215-533-4066. That's 215-533-4066 or visit sealroofing.net.
Has your home or business been damaged by a recent storm and you're left to deal with the insurance company to make things right? Turn to Apple Public Insurance owners Patrick McDonald and Mark Stignardo. If you've suffered recent storm damage to your home or business, call 267-538-3373. That's 267-538-3373 and protect your rights and maximize your benefits.
Did it always come out of that?
What's coming out of that?
How's that?
So damn loud.
Sports Goombahs, Cassie King back, Chef to left, and me, Mikey Wall, doing our thing. People telling us after that. Mike's are still on.
Good.
Yeah, so how we're having pizza here, we're enjoying ourselves, and sometimes I don't
I gotta
know.
cut my full promo real quick. This pizza we got.
Yeah,
Great pizza.
yeah, really good, man.
It's Tony's King of Pizza, located at 5637 Bethsalem Boulevard. That's in Bethsalem. They also have a store up in Langhorne. Not familiar with that address, but 215-638-1090. Hit them up for a good pie. We're enjoying it right now.
Yep,
Big thanks to Joey.
Speaking of French over there, where's mine?
Where you got
Let's see what we should.
You sat in the seat.
We got waitress service here. Come on, come on for break. All right, so then when we left, we were talking about the commercials. We're getting off sports a little bit when talking about the commercials. To me personally, I didn't, like I said, this all started back in '86 when Apple came out with that crazy commercial and made everybody nuts. And technology was changing back then, so the commercials to us were really looking funky. There's all kinds of lights and technology, and LED was coming out. Now it's almost like the commercials are. I think they can consider a good commercial one of shock value. That's what I think they consider a good commercial. It seems like
something that you're going to talk about the next day.
Yeah, it's
whether it's good or bad.
like the Nationwide commercial. The Nationwide commercial.
That was awful.
And Lindsay Lohan driving around drunk by a school.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, there was one. I forget. It was.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, no. It was. Look it up. Look it up. You'll see
All right,
it.
I'll get it.
I'm not making it up. Believe me. She's driving around the school, and the kids are trying to get the kids to come in the car. I guess it's one of the kids' mother or something like that. And they're like, "No, we're not getting in the car with you." I'm looking at this thing. I said, and then you have her driving away in a school area, up on the curb, smacking into a car, and it's her. You know what I mean? That's the shock value. It's her. Because we know she's a drunk. She drives around like that, and she's got that reputation. Why put her in a commercial? Is that going to sell you insurance?
Is that what it's for, insurance?
Insurance, yeah.
A lot of those insurance, the Cure insurance with blue balls and the hashtag don't touch your ball or something like that.
Yeah.
What is this?
And all of a sudden, like in the 90 seconds, they got so many complaints.
Yeah.
So we happen to have this one pre-done already because it
can
was so lame.
You probably got maybe one complaint at all from some uptight person, but I can promise you nobody cared about your commercial. nobody cared about Cure Insurance. There's another response we're not going to get now. But the nationwide one, the dead boy nationwide, that's just
right. They weren't coming our way anyway.
Every commercial out there, like I know what you looked forward to in previous years was these funny, the Budweiser or Pepsi, or the Doritos. Like they had these funny original
Doritos used to have really good ones.
Now every commercial, first of all, left you feeling sad. It was either somebody getting a domestic violence, so the one that ordering pizza.
What was that? Throw like a girl? I was like,
the throw like a girl one.
I didn't know where you.
What was that even advertising?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I remember at the end of it. I remember thinking to myself, oh, it was tampons. What they were doing? They were selling.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Playtex or something like that. Always, I don't even know what they're called. But
and a God commercial. I don't even know what the hell that was about.
Commercial?
Where it's a battery. What would happen if God's charger went dead or something? Cell phone. I was like, are you kidding me? You don't think that?
There was one I liked. There's one.
Nobody got his backup charger.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Or one of these. Look, even the chef has got one. He's got a backup going.
God doesn't have a car charger.
Here's the thing. The one I liked was the one with JFK in the background. Remember that one?
Talking?
JFK, it has his voice in the background. Now I can't remember what it was that he was talking about.
You were just worried about JFK.
It was, we came from the city. Telling us.
I do remember that one.
Give the dog a piece of crust. Keep it quiet. I'm like, that's too big a piece of crust. You can't.
That's bigger than the dog.
I got a half a gallon of coffee down, and now you're giving a half a slice of pizza. And tell her to go away.
She wants some Tony's King of Pizza.
Well, everybody wants Tony's King of Pizza, even the
yeah.
So good, your dog will eat it.
What was I saying, man? My short-term memory.
JFK.
JFK. They were talking about how we came from the ocean or whatever.
There's the same amount of salt in us as there is in the ocean.
Yeah. And like they made some sense to whatever, but that was something you paid attention to and you listened to it because it was telling you something. Everything else was just waiting for the shock value of that commercial. What they were going to do. Even the ones that start off real slow and dull, you're like, okay, this has got to be $1 billion commercial here. They paid a lot of money. What's going to happen next?
You tell me you didn't like the Pete Rose one?
Well, that was old though.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. I thought that was funny. Oh God, even that.
Sketchers or maybe I don't remember.
Yeah,
I've seen that. That one's been around, and that one is like that's creative in a way. Being in the hall.
Yeah, getting
that's fine.
Even at home too, and that's how they end it.
Let's get to the Brady Bunch one. Okay, the one that I thought was real stupid. The way I see it is, first of all, how old is the Brady Bunch? 40 years old?
Not that old, no.
76, 77.
40 years old, man. I was a kid. I was 8, 9 years old watching that show.
All right, man, 40 years old. That sounds
so, and you put that on TV now. Now you just lost half your audience, right? I mean, because some people
God, come on, Nickelodeon and all that. TV Land, everybody's watching.
My reaction alone should have answered that for you because obviously that stopped before I was even born, and I know everything about it.
And he don't watch shit.
My mom's a huge Brady Bunch fan. I've seen many episodes.
So what they did is they put a guy like Steve Buscemi on there who's got movies credentials all over and HBO shows, and then Danny Trejo who's an ex prison convict who made it big in Hollywood, being one of the ugliest dudes I ever saw in my life.
That's machete.
Yeah, but I like. No, don't get me wrong. He's a scary looking guy.
Huh?
Nice dude, badass from what I can see.
Is Buscemi any better looking?
No, that's I'll get to that. They got the two of the ugliest dudes on this show. I guess that's the whole Marsha thing or whatever they were saying because they're all pretty people. They put these two thugs eating a Snickers bar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I guess they're crisscrossing the generations of Snickers.
I think it was just
they've had these commercials for so long of you're acting like this,
They've had some crazy personalities in the past.
And our boy Johnny Football.
We'll get to him later on.
Yeah.
But I mean, before that, what did they have? They've always had throwbacks. I mean, like if you look at it, it's like what Rosie O'Donnell? No, was it Rosie? No, not Roseanne Barr was in one. Bobcat Goldthwait. All these old comedians or people known for being bitches or annoying always have been in their commercials for you're not acting like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And all those people have taken it. Like, I mean, like look at these two. They're a perfect example. They're totally the polar opposites of what the two Brady girls were. And by the way, it came on in '69. and went off in '74.
Really?
It was only on for 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
It had that Star Trek run.
yeah, and it had all these, and it had all the movies after it too. But whatever. But
everybody knows who Brady Bunch are.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right on that. I don't. To me, put them on there. It just once again another commercial that makes no sense.
It's funny. I saw a picture on Facebook after the game. It was a picture of the Nationwide kid.
Yeah,
and it said
we shared it, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, what was that all about?
And it said I would have ran with Marshawn, but I died.
Yeah, I was like, I looked at it and go, what?
And it just shows
somebody made it. I thought it was hilarious.
And it just goes to show you,
commercial.
Yeah, exactly. It shows you how bad it was and how.
Isn't that kid somebody who died of cancer? Wasn't it?
No, he didn't die at all. He was an actor. He's a little actor kid.
Oh, I thought it was some kid that was.
No, nobody really died.
He was in a commercial.
I understand.
Yeah, like, I didn't get to grow up, or I don't get to do this. And also,
just because you have the wrong insurance? I didn't get that.
At the end, it's because I died.
They showed burnt out building. Well, you know, that's what we do.
TV set crushed over on somebody.
Yeah, like, different ways to die, pretty much.
In your house, the bathtub overflowing with water. I mean, like, but I didn't get the whole purpose of it.
Brendan level depressing. Like, that's something you would bring up on the show.
No, I don't get it, but I don't get it. I don't get it though, because if you would have had Nationwide, everything would have been. Your kid would still be alive.
You get paid for it.
Oh,
so you get paid for your kid to die. I don't know where are they going with that.
There's no way that commercial comes out sounding like Roses.
I can see if it was like one of those like baby-proof type things. I don't know who makes those, but if you're trying to baby-proof yourself and so your kids won't die, but even with Nationwide, your kid still is gonna die.
The fact that we're talking like this about a commercial in the Super Bowl is ridiculous. Did Budweiser have a commercial?
They had the sad puppy one. The puppy got lost.
It used to be Budweiser. Budweiser. Microsoft. What happened to my GoDads?
I was gonna say.
They had knocked off. They had
one that was PG. Is that ever again?
Yeah, and that's the word about.
No, they got one that was yanked. They got one that was yanked. That wasn't. Yeah, because I don't know what it was about. I'll Google it in a second.
You get yanked in 2015. You had it basically to be porn or something.
It was close to being. I don't know. I'll look it up in a second. But the one I did like, and I thought was hysterical, was Liam Neeson. Is coffee.
Talk about that. Yeah.
I will hunt you down. I thought that was hysterical.
He's milking that gimmick for all time.
Oh, yeah, but
he's going to be doing commercials like this for the next how many years he's
That's great though. Go for it. It was funny as hell. I'm like sitting there watching it go. Taken 1 was okay. I refuse to watch Taken 2, and Taken 3 is like so unbelievable. It's like the Die Hard movies.
Good.
No. I won't watch them.
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, and I won't watch them because this is never since the McLeans and Die Hard has so much bad shit happened to one family. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. So it's not even worth it. But I thought the commercial was because it's a stupid war game and he's taking it so seriously. And then it's like, your coffee's ready. Liam, it's real.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting for him to take him out there.
Unreal. So that's I'm trying to think of anything else that I saw.
I can't think of anything that left me like.
Well, that's key here. All the money they spent for these commercials, and we're sitting here, a little over 24 hours later, and we don't remember.
I remember in the past years they had like the one where Deion Sanders got drafted again.
Yeah.
But that was original. That was funny. Like they
went away from comedy.
Yeah,
now it's
all about like making your emotions.
Well, here's what I think. I think what they did was what really ticked me off about. The one where the Nationwide one where what was that? That was about what was the Nationwide one about? That was
Dead Kid.
It was
Nationwide was a dead kid.
Was dead. Okay, yeah, and because of not the fire, right? Was that the one because
multiple things?
Multiple. Yeah, anyway, your child.
No. It was keeping your kids safe. That's what it was about. And I read some stuff on it today about and they said it's because we want to start a conversation on keeping your kids safe. And I'm thinking to myself, we're following the NFL with the spousal abuse. We start a conversation. Now we'll start a conversation with kids. So now we can get the kids because I guess the Petersons, because they didn't talk about kids in this thing, they went right to the wife beating stuff. So I guess Nationwide used that as an excuse to why they did the commercial.
The spousal abuse poked its head last night with that one commercial. I forget who it was for. I think it was just for domestic violence. She was ordering pizza at a 911.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was interesting. That was See, that's a good commercial, but not during the Super Bowl. You know, I don't think
I don't think it's a good commercial. I think it's a good like online video that gets floated around.
That's right.
Internet.
That's right.
It's not a commercial.
Right. But they used it for that. I mean, and it was serious. I don't think the Super Bowl is a time to be serious. That's what I liked about 10, 15 years ago. The commercials weren't built on seriousness. They were built on technology and being funny and making you laugh. Now it's all gotten so serious, just like everything else is.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's so serious about everything they're doing in life right now.
How pissed is that guy gonna be when that pizza doesn't show up?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's gonna beat his wife.
Exactly.
Well, the commercial that GoDaddy pulled was this guy. He's got a crate of puppies. He's driving out to a farm. One of the puppies bounces out of the back of a truck, and it shows its journey home to get home to the house. Oh, there he is. Oh, we were looking for you. Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, it's like she picks up her iPad. The dog got sold. It's a breeder,
right?
And it's the GoDaddy girl. Who's it? Danica Patrick, I think, driving
She's
the truck.
still doing it?
I think so. It looked like it in the truck, and people were all upset that like all that work to save a puppy, and then you're just going to sell like a puppy mill or breeder or something like that, and people were very upset by that, and that's why they said there was like, well, never buy a domain from you again. All these like, oh.
Meanwhile, everybody buys a domain from GoDaddy. Yeah, it's something you have to do. So those are the commercials. To me, I was disappointed in that stuff, but I didn't pay much attention to it anyway. I mean, when the commercials come on, you really sit there and focus on them. I get up, move around.
Well, usually, last couple of years I've been out somewhere, so I haven't had a chance to. But I actually was at home. I was at a friend's house watching the game, so I was excited. Like, okay, there's some good, something good I can remember. Nothing.
What is interesting is what the focus is on the commercial. It can't be guys your age. You're 27 years old. You're at a party out there. You guys are doing your thing. You stopping to watch. You stopping to watch. No, you're going to get more beer. Get something to eat. You're not sitting there watching a commercial. So it's not.
Well, no, you're not going to get more beer because you're not leaving during the Super Bowl.
No. I mean,
not
driving to the beer store. I mean, get out of your chair and go over and get a beer.
You're going to the bathroom. You're going to get something to eat. You're going. Yeah.
And if you're a young kid, you're pretty much not focusing on that either.
If you're a young kid, you have no money to spend anyway, so you're not a target.
Yeah, right. And you're sitting there either with your parents or with your friends, or if you're with a group that's not really going to focus on. Yeah, right. You're not a target. You're not going to sell. So who are they looking at? They're looking at the elderly that sit in the chair and are still watching the game during the commercials. They're not getting up. Where's the focus of that? Who are they looking for? They make commercials like that because the only reason I'm watching, if I don't have this show, I don't care about commercials because I don't have nothing to talk about on it. You know, and are you focusing on media people who are going to talk about it? Guys who have shows, TV outlets, things like that, late night TV, people who will talk. That's who you're focusing on with these commercials.
And you're talking about, you're really going for, it's 35 to 50 something, and it's what everybody's going after in their market. They're the people with not so-called disposable income. A college student's not going to have it. They're on a fixed budget, and that's why you have like targeted college nights, dollar beers, this. And that's where your Bud Light crowd appeals to.
College kids aren't concerned with their health insurance.
No, and they're not concerned with. They're not. Let's face it. You're a college kid. You're not really concerned with a lot of stuff. You think you know it all. You're invincible and you know everything. Can't tell them nothing. You know, it's the same. You know, but for adults, we're in that. Me and Cash are in that bracket where they're speaking directly to us. I'm looking at some of their products, going, you know.
If you really think about it, and this has nothing to do with the Super Bowl. I've never been persuaded one way or another to buy something off the commercial, whether how funny it was or how good it was. I just do it for the entertainment.
You know what?
I never like, man, that's a funny commercial. I'm gonna go get that insurance.
I always think it's more like that. It's the status of having a commercial on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just being recognized afterwards.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you get more play on the internet afterwards than you do.
Yeah, everybody does their top 5 countdowns.
Yeah,
on
that's what they're after. During the Super Bowl, forget about it. Especially this day and age. Back 20 years ago, when there was no internet, 30 years ago, how was the internet around? 96, 95?
Yeah, only 20, 25 years.
Right. So if you look back at then,
mainstream-wise.
Right. There was no secondary place to see this but TV. Now, YouTube is more popular than TV. I find myself watching YouTube more than I watch TV now, or Netflix and that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, you get anything you want. And like All in the Family, we spoke about that before. I watched the whole series on YouTube.
You
the past 2 weeks.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Yeah.
I've been watching them. I don't know. I'm up to show 56 or whatever. I'm just watching the whole thing little by little.
You need to get you a hobby.
This is late night. This is what puts me to sleep. Hobby. I got plenty of hobbies. What, I'm sitting there right now. You don't think this is a hobby? Preparing for the show for you guys? You're eating pizza. You're sitting there having a good time. This is my hobby. This is the lid off my jar. Okay. The lid off my jar.
The lid off my jar.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that goes. But all right. What's in the jar? I don't even want to know what's in the jar.
The jar is officiating and camera angles.
No.
It's a whole lot of that.
Yeah. I'm trapped in the jar. I open the jar and let myself out.
It's beef. It's a lot of beef.
That's what I do on Monday.
And
I
rain.
let myself out. Get that dog up. No more pizza for that dog. Vic, get out of here.
She's been staring
I know.
30 minutes.
She's going to until you eat her sheet. Somebody's got to eat that. Anyway, give us a call. You know the number. If you're done, I'm going to tell you right now. 267-563-2893. 267-563-2893. Sports Goombahs smoke phone and text line. We also hang around here on Facebook. Got some people, Jeff Brandy's, he's got me on Facebook right now. He's showing me links to the Catch, the overhead view.
He really wants to sell his point.
No, Jeff, like I said, no offense, we're just going the opposite of that. So we understand. You're not the only one. There's a lot of guys.
Homeland Security Catch. He's got his best angle right there. There you go.
Jeff, you're the number one handicapper in the world, bar none. But you and the guy down the street are the only two people I know who think that was the right play. And I don't think he even saw the game.
You flipped the coin on it.
Not exactly. So, commercials, what are you going to do with them? That was the excitement. And then the halftime show.
Oh, here we go.
All right, now enough's enough already. Bring me back my marching band. Okay, give me 15 minutes of good. Give me a college marching band. Play some of the popular songs. I'd rather hear the marching band play Katy Perry songs than Kate herself. As she was flying out there, all bloated and stuff. She looked terrible. You got all these animated. Was it me or did my HD TV get ripped off?
No, she beat up Will Ferrell and stole his costume from that skating movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at my TV. Why is my HD? Did they do something to the video there to make it look like a cartoon kind of like backing or lighting in there? Because it was an awful picture.
It was, I don't know. When it came out, I was like, what the hell? Is this like the Hunger Games ripoff meets like Cubert? Because remember Cubert, the old game where you had to jump around on all these blocks, and I didn't understand what the hell it was. I don't know. It was the worst halftime show since I can ever. It might be up there as one of the worst ever. I remember Madonna's being worse. I remember who was the other lady, Patti LaBelle. Yeah, I remember her being horrible
they're all pretty bad. But here's the other thing: are you watching? Are you watching the halftime? I didn't. I watched it for 5 minutes and I said, "This is not for me. This is not my entertainment." You know what I mean? I'm gonna go online and talk crap to some people on Facebook or whatever. I can't watch that. That's not. I like her music to a point, because my daughter has made me like her music by playing it when it was big. But to watch the costume, the whole, it was just like, who was that for? Who was that for? That wasn't for me. That wasn't for you.
I'm not responding until you guys are done. I'm letting you guys get everything out. Get everything out. And
can we agree that it sucked?
It sucked.
So it was pretty bad.
You know what?
Even the sound was bad too.
Here's the thing, and I'll tell you what it was. We'll tell you what it was. The commercials were geared towards me and you. Halftime show was geared to his generation and a lot of the girls to get viewers, and it worked.
Yeah,
I don't blame him for it.
It works every year for that stuff. I mean, that's what you're. If that's what you want to see, if you're going to watch the Super Bowl, and I guess there's a point there because a lot of women don't like football all year long, but the Super Bowl is a party. It's New Year's Eve, so they're following. And I don't say, believe me, I don't say this about all women. I have a lot of women in my life who love football and know what they're looking at and enjoy the game. But some it's just party time, and they're looking for the halftime because they can relate to the halftime because that's what they like. And as soon as the halftime's over, they're back to having a cocktail, sitting on the couch, looking at all us go nuts back and forth on every play. So I guess the point is that you got to have something for everybody on the Super Bowl, and this is their spot. Because I can't see any dude liking this. All right, Mike, you got the floor. Tell us how much you love the halftime.
It has nothing to do with guys loving it. It was an absolutely fine halftime show. I'm not putting up there with the all-time greats only because I don't remember more than 3 of them.
You shouldn't remember this one either.
But I don't. What could you say was wrong with it? What was so bad? It's a Katy Perry performance. So if you were expecting anything greater than that, then it's Katy Perry. What do you want it to be? It's not going to be some.
Is that what she does? Is that her show?
I've never seen Katy Perry live.
Well, it's a shame. It's a shame. She has a good voice and some good song, and that's the performances she does.
What was wrong with it? I'm saying you're saying that those were the performances.
What'd you do? Come out.
What was that?
Was that a tiger that she came out that sang?
It was an elephant. It was some fake like elephant, and everybody was so happy that she didn't use a real elephant.
During that song,
like they were going to put a real elephant.
It wasn't an elephant.
But here's the thing: when you're going to do that, I don't need to see the guys on the bottom of the O. I can actually see the guys who are.
How the hell else are you going to get the move?
You don't do it. That's what I'm getting to. This is 2015. Okay, 2015.
If we can't get 50-foot robotic lions to run around the field,
you're goddamn right. You can't do what you want. Listen,
you risk a multi-million-dollar.
You don't use that prop. The prop's not going to look good
whatsoever.
But you saw it though.
Yeah, of course I saw it.
You're not supposed to see it. No, you saw the guys moving the legs.
Yes, because that's how it moved.
No, you don't put it on like that. Yeah, look at that. There, see them on the bottom there? They're in black suits. The idea is not to see them, but we all saw. But unacceptable.
It's like
stagehand.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like any other Broadway show or whatever. I don't have a problem with that.
Your technology.
Do you go and see Rent on Broadway? And I know a stagehand right there. You just moved the background.
I hate when I see that.
You just moved the background. How dare you?
Right. When I go,
you want to see a movie? Go to the movie. That's not a movie.
Listen, they could have hung that thing from the ceiling and drugged that thing and had that stupid thing trucking along like that.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with the performance. I found more things wrong with the fact that there were people out there in the Twitter sphere and in the social media world who didn't know who Missy Elliott was. I found that offensive on multiple levels.
How do you find that offensive?
How do you not know Missy Elliott? She has more millions of records than half the people out there these days.
I don't know who Missy Elliott is. I never heard of her until last night. I never heard of her. Why would I ever hear of her?
I'm not saying that the 70-year-olds should know who Missy Elliott is.
I'm not saying,
but the 16-year-olds out there who are on Twitter.
Here's to a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he's on 2-minute detention right now. 7-year-old. I'm getting it though.
My point being, there was absolutely nothing wrong with this halftime show compared to what we were getting the last couple of years. The last couple of years have been truly dreadful. And I can't imagine anybody was enjoying watching The Who, U2, Rolling Stones, and a bunch of grandpas getting wheeled out on the stage and being propped up for a 10-minute performance.
Halftime was awful yesterday.
You want the halftime show to be lively as it was.
I want the stinking marching band back.
I'm surprised you know
the marching band.
I want the marching band back and then kick the freaking ball off. Let's go.
They're not going to do that because the halftime show is a major thing.
Yeah.
They're not going to do a marching band and a kickoff. They're not going to do that.
I understand. That's my point being the halftime show is.
Didn't have a problem with the show itself, the theory of it, not so much the performance of it. That's where you want to go with it.
You know what? I guess I'm purist. I want to see a football game. I don't watch all the other bullshit. The whole week is full of bullshit.
You can't go down that road anymore because it's not about the money.
It's not just.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Have America's best friggin' marching band and the winner gets to play the Super Bowl? No, it ain't. I mean, wait, did I just come up with something?
Why not?
But I mean, like, and you're the halftime show. Give it to
you
somebody.
Came up with something. You came up with the lowest rated halftime show in the history of football.
And who? Yeah, but I don't even understand why a halftime show has to be friggin' rated.
Because it's ratings. They want ratings because they still want to sell that commercial spot.
Mike, nobody is talking about halftime today. Not.
I can promise you that people are.
They are.
I can promise you they are.
But they're not when we listen. They're not. They're not talking about halftime on sports channels. They're not talking about it. I haven't heard one note, nothing about Katy Perry's performance yesterday, except right after the actual.
I heard numerous things about how it was bad.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, but my rebuttal is how. I want to know what it was bad.
It was just no. It was to me. I look at that performance and I say it was cheap. It was a cheap performance. I'm not talking about having a bunch of people waving their hands back and forth like they always do. They always bring these people up there. They go with the back and forth stuff like this, and have.
If you have a problem with a dancing beach ball and a dancing shark on the stage, then you're out of touch. You're just out of touch. My girlfriend did check in, and she's upset that we refer to it as a lion and or an elephant. It's clearly a tiger, she said.
Oh.
Clearly a tiger.
First penalty flag of the day. Dancing sharks and beach balls. I'm upset.
They were phenomenal.
They were phenomenal. You got words like phenomenal coming out about the halftime performance.
You said the show is for everybody. That was for the 2-year-olds out there. It was for everybody. The 2-year-olds were probably eating that up.
The kids. It was better. It was better than Timberlake pulling down what do you call it, shirt during the Super Bowl. I'll give you that.
That was a good one.
I remember
that was a good one. Oh yeah, little TNA.
Was that the Eagles? Was that the Eagles Super Bowl? Was that the Eagles?
No, that was Panthers. That was
Carolina. Should have been Eagles Super Bowl that year. One of the would have, could have that we were involved with.
Actually, it's funny because I watched an old halftime show today on my lunch break. It was the 01, I believe. It was Baltimore, New York. It was with NSYNC, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, Nelly. That was a great halftime show.
It was okay, but isn't it funny though? Like, oh, maybe they were still relevant then. I mean, usually the Super Bowl doesn't get anybody that's relevant at the time. If you know, I give them credit that Katy Perry's actually relevant right now. But like you were saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Cashy's a big Who fan. I'm always a big Who fan.
I'm a Who fan. I agree with him. I don't need CP Towns and wheel up.
But they stopped that because of the Justin Timberlake thing.
Hey, let's go to the phone. Hey, Frankie Calzone, the coin toss man himself.
Hey, get the beach.
Yeah, what we do? We jinx you, man. What we know? What a disappointment.
I want a refund, by the way. I did take heads.
Yeah, we all took heads, man.
Listen,
what happened? What happened there, man?
That was the most deflated coin flip I have ever seen.
No, you're right. You know, you're exactly right. It didn't even go 6 feet in the air. I agree with you.
I don't even think it reached the helmets of the players.
I agree. And if you don't get that, there's no way you can get heads if you don't go at least 6 feet in the air, right? Right?
Unreal.
13-1.
I wound up as a split, okay?
Yeah.
I know we've been texting through the show, and you started getting cocky with me, you know. Don't only have to send the black card 11 now, all right?
Hey, listen, you guys don't even know where this is. It ain't Levittown. Levittown's a long time ago. We classed up into Ben Salem. Okay.
Anyway, I hit the unders on what was her name? Idelio, whatever her name was.
What, you don't know her name? What, you don't know her name? How dare you not know her name? Don't you know who she is?
I just found out who she was.
Yeah, she's the Frozen girl.
Yeah, exactly. I just found that out.
It's called Frozen.
Really? I didn't know who that was either.
I didn't even know that until today.
All the 12-year-olds know who it was, though.
The under hit on that?
It was
I heard there was some debate on that.
No, wait. It was 2 minutes, wasn't it?
The over-under was like 2 minutes.
It went 2 minutes on the nose. Right, Frank? 2 minutes on the nose? I think it was.
Yeah, it was like 1:59, something. It was 2 minutes. It was like 1 1/10 off of the over.
I heard some people had it as over, some had it as under. All depends, I guess, when you start your clock. But that
I hit that. I wind up splitting with my coin flip and my prop bets. I took Seattle straight up early at a pick, and then at the last minute, around 6:45, I said, you know what? I threw a teaser in there, Seattle and the overs. I wind up flipping, enjoying the game.
Yeah. Well, Seattle. Well, did you hit that one? No, you lost on the over, right?
Well, over 43.5.
Right, but when the teaser lost it, didn't you? Or no?
No, 7.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's well over. Yeah. High scoring game. High scoring Super Bowls are high scoring, man. It's the way it is.
You guys have not touched one iota of the amazing catch that was made that put Seattle in that position.
We touched on it for a second. That's it. Mainly because of what happened with Fox.
Listen, Frank, it got trumped. It's amazing catch that fell on his belly, but he did flick it in on himself too, and it would have gone down as one of the most. It would have
gone right with the helmet catch.
Yeah, it didn't beat David Tyree because David Tyree actually controlled that ball on his helmet. He actually felt it on it. This guy ball in his chest at the end. He had to catch it. If he didn't catch it, it would have just died on his chest.
I thought he tapped it like 2 or 3 times.
He used his kneecap and his toes.
Yeah.
That was a great catch, but look, this is what happens. It got trumped. Bottom line.
Well, the funny part was that the defenders were like they're trying to avoid him and jumping over him.
Yeah, right.
They just jumped over him.
Right,
I thought, don't let me jump on top of him. I guess they didn't want to get a penalty.
right,
For,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, good point, man. That's part of. There's a part of the rules that makes guys do things like that to avoid that situation when that. You know, they didn't touch him just a little bit. I think the second defender touched him a little bit, which put him down. I think. Or he got up and they knocked him out of bounds.
Well, yeah,
Right?
they eventually got him.
Yeah. Yep. He should just lay there and
Well,
play
it
dead.
started out slow, and I said, is this really going to be a third of the game here? It started out slow, and it was like a 10-speed bike. It went second gear, fourth gear, and then third. I'm like, is Seattle going to run away with this game? And there was a kind of like a little bit of a lull where Seattle went 2 and out,
Right.
and Brady was starting to get high. And here we go, fourth quarter, 7 minutes left. I turned to my buddy Sammy and a couple people over the house, and I said to him, this is not good when Brady was driving down the field.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it happened. He was just about 5 and
Right, you worked that clock nice.
5:55 or 5:40 in minutes on that drive.
Frank, he's no joke, man. The guy is who he is. He's not, he's Tom Brady. I don't care about deflated balls or any BS. The guy can play the game and has been playing the game. And I was going to get into this too. I mean, after the last segment, we were going to pretty much talk about quarterbacks and where they're ranked.
I know your secret. I don't know if the guys know in the studio. I know you're sleeping with Tom Brady. I know you think
He wishes.
That's how we knew about the deflated balls.
Frank, it gets me a moment which is up. So sometimes you got to give a little. I take it easy, guys. I'm playing around here.
I will say, I did good with my props last night. I was big on Edelman. Edelman won me some bucks.
Yeah.
He went over on his catches, his yards, and I did good with some Gronk. But
I
I
finished. Listen to what you just said. You said Edelman, Amendola. Look at these receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are these guys? Any of these guys over 6'2"? No, they're like,
and neither guy's even 6 foot.
yeah, that's amazing that they don't have the prototype NFL wide receiver.
Well, LaFell's tall.
Yeah, but LaFell's not. He's not one of their players. He's not their
Starter.
go-to. I know. But listen, what I'm getting to here is the fact that, and tell me I'm wrong, but they did we might as well get into it anyway. Frank, I got you on the phone. You might as well hang out with us a little bit here if you want to. We're going to talk the quarterback situation of who's best, who did what, where, when, and how. Now, of course, the biggest thing was, okay, has he dethroned Joe Montana? Has he done it? Does this mean he does? And I say no. Although, and I love Brady, but I say no because I look, I'm sorry, I say no. I say yes.
Right,
I say yes because
I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I say yes, and I've been a Joe guy ever since he was ever in the league, right out of Notre Dame. The talent that Brady comes with, and I stated this for years on the radio show that the Patriots are a favorite to win the Super Bowl because of Tom Brady, and that's it. If he's on that team, they're up there in the top 10 teams that are favored to win the Super Bowl next year, and they're in there next year too. And we don't even know who their wide receiver is going to be next year, but since he's there, this team is now a favorite to win the Super Bowl again next year. And to look back at this guy has not had a consistent wide receiver in his 14-year tenure and 6 Super Bowl appearances. He has not had a running back either in the 14 years and 6 Super Bowl appearances.
He's had
No.
Welker's pretty consistent.
No.
He was there for like 5 straight
Not
years.
good. I'm talking, but if you look at the best, you look at the guy we're comparing him to, the Joe Montana who had Rice and Taylor for years. You want to go back to Bradshaw who had Swan, Stalwart for years, and if you look at that, and who else would go? Then the other one we can even come close to would be, and Favre wasn't in that many Super Bowls. And Favre was a small period there. But even go back to Roger Staubach. He had Drew Pearson.
I don't even think you're making your own point in a roundabout way. It's not how long he had them. It's the quality of receivers that he had. The quality, meaning like you could have had a crappy receiver like, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. James Thrash. You could have him for 7-8 years and it won't freaking make a difference on your team. But you're talking you have a player of better consistency who's generally an all-pro or number 1 receiver for 3 years, and it's going to make a huge impact. Now Brady, what you're saying is Brady hasn't really had a true number one receiver for any good length of time. Is that what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah,
And that's what
receivers. You look at let's just say Manning. You get a receiver, you get used to him. Can you imagine if he had these kind of players around him for 10 years straight, the same running backs or the same wide receivers, that kind of thing?
That's not how Belichick works.
Well, no, it's because that's what he worked with what he had, what he could get, and they consider
Realistically.
Yeah.
Realistically, how many more years does Tom Brady have left?
6. 6. The guy hasn't been touched yet.
That's 6 years.
How can he? If the rules stay like they are, where you can't touch the guy, even if you can touch him, you can't touch him. And remember, the older he gets in this league, you're just going to start get that Joe Namath thing to where players are going to be tackling him and picking him up or putting him down softly, killing him softly in the backfield.
It's going to come to this. Like if you looked at how many times, and we all can agree that Seattle has probably the best defense in the NFL, right?
Sure.
And how many times they only sacked him once, I do believe. How many times did they hurry him? Three or four,
right,
and touched him like 2
He
times.
threw the ball 50 times. Too.
I've been saying.
Well, that's how you get around it. He also had 3 picks. I'm just saying he's smart enough to get rid of it, and he's smart enough to avoid it. Like Cassie was saying, for how many times can you picture Brady on his ass? You see Manning on his.
He had 2 interceptions. One was a realistic defensive interception. The other one, he was rushed.
Right.
And he threw the ball airball when they were driving down. I believe it was the first or second drive.
Nobody in the history of football, a quarterback, that steps up in the pocket like he does. He just don't do it.
He just doesn't. He gets rid of the ball, so he doesn't get hit enough. He's realistically got at least 4 years left.
Yeah, I think so.
At least.
I was thinking 3-4 years.
At least 3 or 4, as long as the arm doesn't go. Manning's arm looks good.
Yeah. Brady has kept himself. I think he had 1 season of injuries, right? And that was that injury. He went out.
That was a cat's hole.
Torn ACL,
right?
Torn ACL, right? And he's not a runner anyway. He's not going anywhere. He's getting rid of the ball before he goes 5 yards up the field. And that's just the way he plays. If the league stays like it is, and the rules are just going to get worse and worse with touching people in this league, that's the way it is. Quarterbacks are going to be flag football soon. He can maintain his ability to throw. He's going to be here for a while. I mean, he's not going nowhere. Belichick's not getting rid of him until he shows that he can't play this game anymore. Bottom line.
And even when he starts to go, Belichick is going to give him a year.
No, here's the thing.
1 more season.
Going out together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I heard stories yesterday about he's got big decisions because Brady. It's going to end badly in New England with Brady in New England because he's going to have to leave his team, maybe not be the quarterback in his football team when they want to bring up somebody else new. But I think you're exactly right. If it comes to the point to where Belichick's going to draft a quarterback now to fill in for Brady, that's the end of both of them. They're both going to make the move
He's
there.
been drafting quarterbacks.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case,
Right.
Exactly.
Right. But I'm saying when it comes to actually picking that quarterback, first of all, the Patriots got to lose enough games to get in the draft pick. I mean, when was the last time they had a decent draft pick? They were up. When was the last time they were in the top 10, top 15?
They had the 10th overall pick like
on a
2
trade.
years ago. Yeah, it's when they ranked the I think it was the Niners or something.
Right. Raped the Niners. But you know what I'm saying. I think the league has room for quarterbacks like him to stick around. I mean, but he's the only one of its kind right now. There's no aging quarterback in this league. Him and Manning are in a group of their own.
We'll see how Breeze, because he's getting older too. We'll see how
Breeze is not. Everybody says Breeze is not a category of those 2 guys. I mean,
nobody's
going to start playing flag football. If we're going to start playing flag football, let's bring back Brett Favre.
Oh, he's thinking about it. He's bored. He's doing commercials now. He's trying to have his own show on the internet. Yeah, Favre's bored. He'll come back. He's going to do something. Maybe he'll coach. Who knows?
Hey, Mike, you were talking a little bit earlier about Chris Collinsworth and his commentaries and all that, and how he loves the Eagles. And I think I can't remember what show he was on, and he was talking about the Eagles. And he was actually a fan of the Eagles, and he loved what the hell was his name? The hamburger that was here before that chip potato. Andy Reid. He loved Andy Reid. He loved his coaching style and whatnot. There's one commentator that I just can't handle. Troy Aikman. He's an Eagles hater. He is just an unreal, unfair person.
And there's actually
you were talking about, and what I wanted to get into. You're talking about how Al Michaels and him, Chris Collinsworth, they just click together.
Yeah.
One's a commentary, the other guy's a color guy. The other guy's a color guy.
They're both. They do both. Well, Frank, they do both.
When you get Joe Buck and Troy Aikman together,
it's awful.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's because Joe Buck doesn't have no. Joe Buck's a voice. That's what he is. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He's just trying to be the voice and get as many jobs as he can. You know. But I'm definitely an Al Michaels Collinsworth fan.
I'm a fan of Al Michaels for anything.
Al Michaels, he's good. Yeah, he's good at it. You know what? No, Al Michaels is real. He's real. He's real inside and out. He has no. What do you call it? I can't think of the word I want to say. He has no. He has it. You know, quote IT. Yeah, that's what he has in his profession. He knows how to do it. And you know, well, look at the start he got. You know, he has the greatest line in sports history, I think. You know, for the most part. But it was good Super Bowl as far as the games, the way it was called and all that. That I enjoyed.
Not the announcing so much, but the reporting. Did you hear after the game with was it Dan Patrick?
Yeah.
When he asked Gronkowski, how does it feel to hold us up again? And Gronkowski didn't answer the question, Kai. He just started talking. Then about a minute later, Patrick goes, well, yeah, but how great does it feel to hold us up again? Gronk turns to him and goes, I never won before. They haven't won in like 10 years. Yeah, right. Gronkowski was a junior in high school. Last time they won. And he finally answers, I didn't win before.
They think Gronk's been to all these.
He's turned into a household name. Yeah, that's why.
I'm like, how do you? And it's funny when he first asked him, I'm like, wait, Gronk wasn't there before. I said to myself, and then he said, and finally Gronk answers, I wasn't here before. And it's like, how do you not know that? As the guy who's going to be interviewing the winners, how do you not know who was here and who was not here?
Absolutely.
That was bad.
I just looked up the Patriots draft history, and you got to go back like 5 years to have them even have somebody break number 20 in a pick.
And then when they get a pick, they always trade it back. Always trade it back. Yeah. Even if they do get a top 20, they always move back.
I think the last one that time they had anything break 10 was, where is it? Or 2008, I think. Yeah.
That's the system, man. That's the system that's run over New England. That's why, you know, the gold standard is in San Francisco.
That was
told Jeff Lurie that.
Gerard Mayo?
Whatever.
Exactly. So, like,
he's all pro.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, even then, even when they keep it, they know what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, anything else, Frank? Got any more comments?
Anywhere else? I think you guys covered it all. It's been a great NFL season.
It really was. Yeah. You know what? Next year,
I'm sure you got some good plans for Chip Potato. I mean, I can't believe that they didn't pay what was it, like $3 million or $3 million for him to do his advertisement.
Yeah, right. Was he supposed to do a Tostitos ad with the chip? I saw it.
He was supposed to do a Tostitos ad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they clipped it. Yeah. Too much chip. He's got to win something first, right? That's the deal. You know. All right, Frank. Appreciate the call.
The Doritos commercial too was far my best when the guy was sitting on the airplane and doing everything in his power to keep somebody out of that little seat.
That was good.
You know, he did everything but pick his nose. You know,
the lady, you know, that was funny.
And then he picked that girl, and then all of a sudden, you know, they pan out. The girl's got the
I missed that one.
I guess you would call it, with the baby is there. He's like, oh.
That actually was good. That was good. I forgot that one.
Hey, great season, guys. I guess we'll talk NFL. I'll be calling you back, but I'm always listening in.
I appreciate it, man. You're the man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
NHL season, right?
Yeah, well, that's next.
Good night.
All right, man. See you. Frankie Calzone checking in. Frankie, 13-1 now on his coin toss. Legendary. Legendary. Since I know him that many years, and we've always been talking about the coin flip. You know, the best play in the book. Cashy King, chef to the left over here, looking up stats for us. You know if that's stats, buddy. Mike,
it's not stats. I'm just looking.
Mikey's over here. He's got Katy Perry music in his headphones now. I just plugged him into it.
All been listening.
Got Katy Perry YouTube running in his headphones. I'm Cashy King. We'll be right back. Say nothing. Don't say anything. I gotta figure out what's leaking out. All the mics are off. What the hell could be leaking out? Don't have that. It's not off. There's no way anything's going through. Nothing's on. The only thing is the microphone from that. The light's not on. That's so weird. I gotta get this pizza out of there. That's why I took it away, man. When it finishes. Yeah, take it upstairs, and I can hear her in my headphones.
Sorry, I hear it too.
You know, bad girl.
My girlfriend texted at one point. She's like, I can't hear you. You sound really distant. That's why when you saw me text, I was like checking the thing. She didn't have the volume up on the computer.
Right. Even Frank said, Frank, I can't hear you.
No, she had the laptop volume way down.
And everybody's on phones, cell phones. Sometimes it's messy. Like Frank said, I can't hear you. He's texting me because he's on his Galaxy. Pizza down over the door.
No problem.
What?
Manziel.
We gotta put some plays out. Wake up for more. Make sure you finish that off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't block her out and I can't stop her. So with the food and all.
Yeah, I was trying to keep her at bay at one point.
No, it's a bad. The food in here is a bad idea. If I shut that door, she'll bark. So.
Yeah.
I got Nashville going tomorrow. Yeah, Nashville, Toronto. Tomorrow. There you go. Nashville. Who did I take last week? I took the wing one and the over, right?
Mm-hmm.
The over. We get that one.
And you were 3-0 on hockey
Yeah,
in
Nashville.
one day.
Nashville won the game.
Is that the Pittsburgh game?
No. I just had Nashville over 3, and the game went over 5.5.
You were 3-0 one night. I forget what it was.
Look back on your why didn't you put it down on your instant message?
What's that?
Which games it was?
I'll check. I was going.
All right. Yeah, catching the king back, rocking to the Goombahs theme song. What we do here? Yeah, boy. Yeah, sports Goombahs. Get into the pick session now. See if I can earn everybody some money. A little bit of cash. A little cash each. All right, last week. A good week last week. We done them good last week. Yeah. Had the Super Bowl win. I think we even we took the hockey too. We had Nashville last week. I forget where they play. Were they playing? Pittsburgh or?
No, it was
Tuesday
before
night.
it was
Tuesday
before the
night.
Pittsburgh game. You were 3-0 that night.
3-0. No, it's yeah.
The overtime game, the shootout at 1-2.
Yeah, when the Nashville game was the over and the side the game total the over, and then the Islanders too that day. It was my Dow Jones picks for last week. We're right back on them again. I think tomorrow night there's really not much out there right now as far as lines worthy, but I got Nashville tomorrow playing Toronto, home against Toronto. This Toronto team is butchered. Although playing the Flyers the other night, you wouldn't think so. As the Flyers struggled against them, our fearless Flyers, who everybody thinks now has turned the corner. The only corner they turned is the Boulevard and Cotton, I think, and the next local bar. Yeah, I like the Nashville Predators tomorrow night. They're hosting Toronto, and Nashville is still my Dow Jones team. They let me down a few games ago. They came back last week. So I see on the board. I don't see last week we had the New England Patriots. We had them for the Super Bowl. We had the over, and we had New England, and we had the Islanders. So we had actually a 4-0 week last week. We made you a few bucks there. you're paying your bucket, it definitely isn't my fault. And I know that for sure right now. That's it. That's why I'm not going to give anything else because I don't see anything else I like. Like Nashville, I like them. They're going to be a 2.5, maybe a 3.5. The game right now is a 5.5 pump total. So that tells me right there it's going to be a 2.5, I think, in Toronto. I don't care what it is. I think Nashville, with the type of team Toronto has, Nashville will score a bunch of goals here. They'll score 5, at least 5, I think, themselves. So I like the over 5.5, and I like Nashville too. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to make it a 3-way here. I'm going to lay the 220 on them, and 220 to win 100 too. I think they win the game. I really like this hockey game tomorrow. 8:05. Check it out. Nashville Predators over Toronto. It's one of those cash of the kings. You got to be all over it. Every way, shape, and form.
Triple play.
I'm even going to go quadruple here and lay the 1.5 goals too on this one. Toronto's a beat-up hockey team. And the Flyers, though they beat them, didn't really show that. You know, they took them lightly, played lightly, still beat them though. But from what I was watching, Toronto's in trouble. They got some big problems over there. One is that they're injured or they're heavily injured. That's my only play for the week. That's all I like. I don't see anything else. There's no football next week. Anybody got? Is there a local game, high school game, something like that on?
Even football's done now officially, right?
There's 2 kids that played on my block.
Obviously,
They play one-on-one
Everywhere. I mean,
yeah. Well, I don't know the Canadian football. I can take a look at that if you want.
That's over.
That's over
that's
too.
over too. Yeah.
All right, so we're in a lull of sports coming up here. This is when hockey and basketball take over. If you're extreme better, you might be thinking of the ponies or there's some kind of soccer going on somewhere.
It's always soccer.
Always soccer. It's unbelievable. It's always soccer. It's 24/7 soccer.
And let me tell you, it's all betting too.
Yeah. Well,
So next week's show will be here for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
So we need some chaos. All right, well, let's get right to the chaos. It's football managed not only to have a Super Bowl, but our boys, one of our boys, Johnny Manziel, is back in the news. What we know this happened a little bit. They waited for after the Super Bowl to do this, to put this out there because it happened last week.
It happened
Wednesday, so they held it off. Even right after the Super Bowl, they put it out there. They still get a lot of press from that.
How does it not get out over the weekend?
Well, the NFL, they don't need that. The last thing they needed was
How do you need it? If you saw Johnny Manziel walk into your rehab class, you're telling somebody.
Nice work. That's what it was. Nice work. It shows that they can't hide stuff if they really want to.
How did they? They hit a video of a guy punching his wife for 7 months.
Don't you think for 1 second Goodell has nothing to do with the Manziel, holding that off? That's part of the very last thing he needed was one of his supposedly star college players going to rehab for the most part. But that's the deal. I mean,
we know what he's in there for exactly.
They haven't said.
It's just alcohol, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's doing blow.
Well, why not?
I don't know. Because
He's got a lot of money.
Because there hasn't been rumors about it yet. So.
It kills me now because that Skip Bayless who came in last month, 2 months ago, and said this out loud. He knew something, obviously, because that's what he put that out there for the most part.
Well, the thing is, too, you go and you make that very, 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 very public accusation and say all this crap about it, and then everybody starts jumping on him for saying it. But nobody ever sued. Nobody, you know what I mean? There was no bullshit because you know what? Maybe he was right. He knew something, like you said, and now how you going to?
But they don't sue for that kind of stuff anymore. You don't sue. The internet and TV now, they're suing somebody. You try to say somebody's drunk or whatever, somebody's doing this. It's so hard to sue for the characters. That was definition of character stuff. That's ridiculous anymore. I mean, whether he was right or wrong, or he was telling the truth or not, doesn't matter. Bale should have said it anyway. It's not for him. This is a personal thing. Okay, the NFL kept it quiet. He should have too, and he got a lot of slack for it. But it wasn't slack that Bale said that. It was the slack that he didn't have to say it out. He wanted to say it to get himself, some hype. He used it for him. Skip, what are you looking like that? He used it for him.
I'm not looking at you like that.
No, I got my sources did report that ESPN announced that it was alcohol and pills.
Yeah, well, because if it was just alcohol, they would have said alcohol rehab, but they didn't. But they wouldn't say pills because when it comes to pills, what kind of pills? You know what I mean? Now you got to break it down. What you're doing.
It's not Advil and Tylenol.
Right. It's either Xanax, vitamins.
Is he abusing like diet pills? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So.
All 170 pounds of them.
Wow, that big head of his.
But what's good about that is we get to keep we get to Johnny in the papers. He's good.
We got a weekly bash.
He's going. Now we get to watch him in rehab, see what he's doing there too. So that's good. The other one was the hookers are back.
Oh yeah.
Warren Sapp, who I was nailed once before with this. I remember him being for what, 5 years ago or something, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He copped to it. He copped to the whole, the hookers thing. He said, "Oh, I hired hookers."
I don't think he did hookers 5. I think 5 years he beat his wife.
Oh, is that what it was?
They just wouldn't do.
Oh, he don't care. Yeah, he didn't care about the whole hookers thing. That's what he said. He didn't beat him up, and that's what he was worried about. Because let's face it, in most of the places, I guess it's just going to be like what? I don't even know what the penalty is for it, but hiring a hooker is nothing. As opposed to beating the crap out of 2 women is another thing.
Thankfully, I don't know the penalty for getting a hooker. I wouldn't know that, but
I do. It's called jail time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He said, "Oh, I did this. I hired hookers." Now apparently it just released that he got fired from the NFL already. So they,
The fact he still had a job there was shocking.
Yeah, I didn't even know he worked for him. So there you go.
He's gonna blow you.
He's probably doing the midnight to 2 a.m. shift on NFL Now or something.
Yeah.
Remember, he used to be relevant, man.
Yeah, he was
Real fall from grace.
Yeah, he was a pot smoker when he first came up, right? He had that problem. Sapp was good. He played. He had a good year.
Good career.
Good career. He's a funny guy.
And because he was a naturally charismatic guy.
Right.
He transitioned to TV pretty well, but then let's say first he beats his wife, and now he's getting hookers.
Well, it's sign of times.
he still landed that Bud Light commercial.
Yeah, right.
I'm just looking at his mugshot. He just looks like somebody kicked his puppy, and so it's just so funny.
Yeah, somebody did kick his puppy. And what I was bothering yesterday? I'm watching the celebration of the Super Bowl. And, I know they like to show these stars and all that stuff in the stands, who's who and what's what. Like, I give a crap. This Marky Mark, and I call him Marky Mark, Wahlberg, he's on the field, running up to the players, congratulating. Like, they should stop to congratulate him. Tom Brady, Gronkowski, all the guys. He's on the field, and they got the cameras on him. Do I care about that? Is that supposed to be a big deal?
Well, he's good friends with Tom Brady.
I'm
pretty sure.
He's
Yeah,
good friends with everybody in New England.
He's Boston strong.
Yeah, he's Boston strong. Yeah, I understand.
What, Tom Brady's in Ted 2? It's got the movie Ted 2. Didn't that premiere during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I missed that one out. I came back and someone was talking about
him and Mark Wahlberg, the Bear and Mark Wahlberg sneak into Tom Brady's apartment and steal sperm sample.
Here's my thing.
That's what it's for, because he can't have babies.
Here's my thing about Wahlberg. I don't think he's a good actor. He never did. Look, I think he's a better producer than he is an actor.
Blasting Wahlberg. I can't stand for that.
Well, you're gonna have to
him or his brother?
I'm not blasting. No, I like his brother's a far better actor than he is.
Oh yeah,
far better actor than he is.
Scrotum head.
What?
That's what we call him, scrotum head.
Who calls him that?
Oh, well, a lot of people.
Anyway,
it started with you running. I never heard that.
Yo, take it easy, man. Yeah. I got Dr. Evil over here. That's the scrotum head. What are we talking about? I don't know what one good movie he's done. Maybe one good movie Wahlberg's done that he's been the actor in. Nothing I like him about his Entourage. Thank you, everybody.
It was funny, Ted. He was somewhat funny, Ted. Yeah. Was he a good actor? No.
I'm talking about
I'll tell you what, his best acting role had to be Boogie Nights.
And if you go back and watch the acting in Boogie Nights, the way his expression, the way he acted was horrible. The movie was good because it was.
He had a lot of good actors around him.
And he always does. He always does. You look at him, but it can name a good movie. Like, name one good movie. Now, Ted is a spoof movie of comedy and grotesque. What do you call that? It's like surprise, that kind of stuff. It's a shock.
Shock.
It's comedy shocker. If you the first time you see it, that's what he does. But I'm like, Wahlberg's up there for everything. He's always around all this stuff. I'm trying to think, what has this guy done other than the
Four Brothers? You ever see Four Brothers?
Yeah, so
very entertaining movie. Absolutely was.
I know the entertaining movie list. Was he a good actor in the movie?
That's what I'm
trying to find out.
Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not going to win an Oscar.
Is he even going to come close?
He's made very entertaining movies. That's what he's here for.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what movie's entertaining. I've seen him. I
said before, Pain and Gain. I thought was a very hilarious movie.
The best celebrity
and him.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw
But
that. It was slapsticky.
the best celebrity thing that came out of the Super Bowl was like Chris Evans and what do you call it? Oh my God, I get
Departed.
Chris,
He was okay. His
he
role
was
in
okay.
Departed was okay. That was
Chris
okay.
Evans and Chris Pratt.
Because he played himself. He played a Bostonian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about doing an accent or anything. But the best thing about the Super Bowl was Chris Evans
Hang job.
and what do you call it? Chris Pratt. Their bet, because one's was, and it was all for charity. It was kind of cool. It was Captain America and Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. The loser had to visit the prominent hospital, children's hospital in each city. So I thought that was kind of cool. But that was the cool
So they made
thing.
a bet where the loser needs to visit a children's hospital. Shouldn't they be doing that anyway?
Well, they do. He does in the other opposing cities. He does
Wait,
it.
who are you talking about?
Chris
The
Pratt,
two-
Chris Evans.
Chris Pratt and Chris Evans.
No, I don't get started with that.
Who's Chris Pratt?
How do you not know who Chris Pratt is?
What has he done?
Everything. Chris Pratt is.
He's
I can't get
he's
this.
gonna be in the new Jurassic Park movie. He played Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He
Never
was
saw
in Zero Dark 30. He was one of the snipers, one of the Marine guys in that.
Did he
He
suck
starred
it?
the Lego movie. He was Chris Pratt is
He
in
started what movie?
a
The
Lego
Lego
movie.
movie.
The letter movie?
Lego.
Lego
Lego?
toys.
He made like $1 billion, literally.
Lego movie?
Yeah.
But how is that? I never saw the Lego movie.
I never saw it either, but I'm aware that it exists. I never listened to a Beyonce album. I'm aware she makes music.
And Missy Elliott apparently too.
How can you not see? It's funny because I've had this argument before with somebody who
I wonder why that is.
who had no idea who Chris Pratt was, and I got very upset about that because how can you? He's a bona fide A-list celebrity
He's
in
gonna
every
be.
way, shape, or form.
He's gonna be your next. I don't know.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, and
This guy right here is going to be the next A.
Yes.
he's considered. They're gonna reboot the Indiana Jones movies, and he's one of the people that's considered for it. Gonna be Indiana Jones.
Who's the other clown?
Chris Evans,
Chris Evans is
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America.
Come on, man.
Okay, here's the problem with you guys. You say, come on, man. Dude, I don't watch.
Snowpiercer.
I don't listen.
It's not our fault that you don't watch current things.
But that's
It's not our fault.
No, it's not. Look at the stuff you're talking about. What'd you say? What was it?
Captain America.
I don't watch. I don't see the movies. They're not
I don't see the
entertaining.
movie either, but I still know.
But you know what it is.
Chris, what was it?
The Avengers.
Chris what?
Chris Pratt and Chris Evans.
There's been 2 Captain America movies and an Avengers movie that he's played Captain America. And that's
This guy
great.
right here.
Chris Evans.
Yes.
Yes.
What about this guy right here? What do you mean about this guy right here?
Who's this guy? I never saw this guy before. Who is he?
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding either one of you.
That's not our fault because he only knows Steve Buscemi and Al Pacino. There's
Well,
only 2 Al Pacinos.
listen. I
De
know
Niro.
the good actors. These good-looking guys you put in here doing movies like Spider-Man and shit. They ain't nothing. They're going in 10 years.
Captain America. Get it right.
Captain America. I'm not going to see Captain America. I don't watch that.
I don't see Captain America, but I'm very aware of who Chris Evans is.
Exactly.
Why would I?
That's the point we're making. We don't expect you to sit down and
How-
watch good movies like that. We just want you to know who the hell
You
they
do
are.
notice that Chris Pratt was just the #1 star in a movie that just grossed $774 million.
What movie was that?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
What was that about?
I don't know. I didn't say it.
Awesome movie.
What was it about?
It's about a whole bunch of.
I never saw
What was that?
Selma, but I know apparently it won awards.
Exactly.
What was that about?
What, Selma?
Come on, what were we just talking about? The movie.
It's based off a comic book from Marvel that started in the
Okay,
80s.
that's why I don't know these guys. I don't see that stuff. So you can't blame me for not knowing people I wouldn't even see. If he's on Letterman or Fallon,
He is on these shows.
but I don't. When I see his name, I don't watch it because I don't know who he is. So
That's your fault.
well, nobody's saying it's a fault. I'm just telling you I don't know who the guy is, and you're telling me I'm insane because I don't know who he is. But how would I know who he
That
is?
means you're not up to date with current events and current.
What? These stinking movies? Those movies because they're not gangster movies or they're not sports
Exactly.
movies.
Exactly. They're not gangster
Listen,
movies.
I'm
They're
sick-
sports movies.
listen,
You have no idea who it is.
I'm sitting next to a guy who didn't see The Godfather.
I still know who acted in it. I didn't say I know who the hell is Al Pacino.
Yeah, who's the best actor in the movies in The Godfather? Which actor was the best one in The Godfather?
I don't care.
Well, see, there you know, because you
I know who they are though. I'm aware. I don't know who they all are.
This shit don't mean nothing to me. This guy don't mean nothing. All he is a looker, okay? Until I see him up there collecting an Academy Award, he ain't shit. Move on.
That's one of the worst arguments I've ever heard.
It is pretty.
How do you figure? I don't know a
I'll
guy.
pull up the last 10 Oscar movies for best movie. I guarantee you haven't seen any of them. Did you see what are these? Did you see The Pianist? Did you see that one 5 years ago?
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
Not the pianist, the pianist.
But whatever, he's calling it Pianist. That's how much he knows.
The Pianist.
Pianist.
Did you see The Grand Budapest Hotel?
That was a great freaking movie.
You probably caught that one, didn't
That
you?
was a great movie. That was.
Give me 1 star in the
Idiot.
Grand Budapest. Give me 1.
Joe Pax was in that movie.
Exactly. You did case in point.
Listen, you're 20 years younger than me, or 20 months here, but it's a different. You're drawn to different crap than I am. Obviously, knowing these guys.
I'm drawn to it.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. What I own it, I don't know these guys. That does nothing for me that I don't know. Big deal.
These are the only reason we're bringing it up is because these are the Hollywood icons right now that are making billions of dollars. Okay, you may make fun of the fact that what was it? Guardians had 800 million,
774 million.
Okay, and what it is,
$750 million,
and that isn't even hit aftermarket yet. That's just around the world. Now you take something about the Avengers, which made $1 billion. The movie The Avengers, it made $1 billion. Not to mention probably another $500 million in all the toys that came out and all that other bullshit. All right,
you gotta catch up, man.
Well, we're not saying that you have to like it. We're just saying that how the hell in this day and age do you not know what it is?
What is?
What any? This last conversation.
I know. Don't look at him and say last conversation. What is? What are you saying?
We're talking about
the movies are.
The movies are the actors. I do even movies I don't like and
listen. That the bowl of cereal gets you what?
Get you $1 billion.
No, that doesn't get us anything. You're talking like since I don't know this.
The Godfather didn't get you anything either.
What are you talking about?
I gave you a namesake.
You pay attention to the goddamn movie? It's educational TV, man.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, you guys can try to gang up on me all you want.
We're not ganging up. We're amazed.
The fact that you think that you're amazed, especially you, Pete, and I don't know who these two clowns are because
I'm not amazed you don't know who they are. I fully expect you to not know.
What's
the fact that you don't know, the fact that you prove you're right in not knowing.
Well, why would I prove you're right? If I don't know, I'm not gonna say I know. I don't know.
I know, but I'm saying the fact that I knew. I was like, if I know.
I don't know who the dumb shit was that sang the national anthem yesterday. I don't know the other girl. They got the name wrong, whatever her name was.
Manziel? Johnny's
mom? Johnny Manziel's sister. I didn't know she sung.
I honestly never heard her before.
Yeah, well, how come you hear of her? She's your age group. She's your music. What's the matter with you?
I don't know who sung the song from Frozen. I never saw the movie Frozen. I don't know who sung.
She's not an actress. She's not the famous part. She's a background singer in a movie.
Listen,
you know who sang the song The Little Mermaid? For God's sakes. I mean, who cares?
Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, I was going to finish up with a couple things here. Like, I was going to get into the quarterback stuff here. First of all,
what quarterback stuff?
You got off on this Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. I forget about it. Yeah, 3 minutes stuff. I'm going to get into something that's interesting. That's for sure. Chris Pratt. Well, we're going to go here, guys. You did, yeah.
Well, because you, Chris Pratt never come on the show.
Yeah, he's going to come anyway. You got me off on this Chris. What's the other guy's? Chris
Evans, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, big deal. Chris Evans. I cannot believe the sports Goombahs has come down to a Chris Evans, Chris Pratt conversation. I can't believe it.
That's what we came for.
I know guys out there right now are throwing the frick up. What happened to Cat?
Warren Sapp beating the hooker. I just found there's more details on Yahoo.
Well,
okay.
Beating the hooker.
Warren Sapp's a better actor than them two clowns anyway.
So apparently Warren Sapp and females are not. It's not a good mix.
Maybe. Well, hey, I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying it's good to beat anybody, but maybe she deserved it. Who knows? Maybe she took his money and ran.
How much money did Warren Sapp have left?
Enough to buy a hooker.
Apparently not. That's why he was beating her. They were
negotiating. Yeah, it was
upcharging him.
He negotiated a price.
Maybe he said $500, and then he took his money, and then she only gave him $300 worth of action. Well, that's ripoff. That's like getting half a meal. It's still a transaction, buddy. I know it's not Chris Pratt, but it's still a transaction.
Oh my God! Have you heard a show called Parks and Recreation?
The hooker would have paid.
Chris Pratt's on that.
Yeah, but he's not the star, man.
One of the stars.
I'm watching that.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm watching that on what do you call it? Netflix. I got Netflix. It's pretty cool. I got to pick out my shit. I'm not, I know what's going on. I don't know these guys by name. If I saw their faces in movies, sometimes.
No, you did, because I watched you pull up the picture.
I know, I know I didn't know. If I might have seen him in movies and not known who it was and didn't really care. It's like, yeah, who's the guy? What's his name? Ryan
Seacrest.
No. He's the actor, Ryan
Gosling?
No. Good actor, Ryan Gosling.
Philip?
Yeah, him. I didn't know him by name, only by face. Because I used to hear him on shows. He was on Stearns once, and I said, "Who is this guy?" Everybody knows.
He was relevant 10 years ago. That's
but I'm saying I didn't. When I finally saw his face, that's him. I didn't put the name and the face together. That's something that happens sometimes. There's a couple other guys. I watched a movie called Van Wilder yesterday.
Like we haven't heard of Van Wilder.
Well, I know you haven't heard of him.
No, we have. I'm saying.
First time I saw it. Who's the actor there now?
Ryan Reynolds.
Well, here's another guy. I didn't know him by face, didn't know him by name. So I knew who that was. So I said, but that was a funny movie. Man.
This is Mr. This isn't an Oscar-nominated film.
Yeah, I wouldn't
You
know that.
bashed Wahlberg for his entire career, but you praised Ryan Reynolds and Van Wilder.
Wait a minute, I didn't praise anybody. I just said he was in the movie, man.
You said it was a great movie.
I said it was a great movie. I didn't say he did a great acting job in it.
Oh, God. So when I mentioned Wahlberg's great movies, you go,
Because I saw I didn't like him. I didn't think he was good. I don't think he's a good actor. Wait, here you go. Before we end the show on this one. The Eagle movie, what was it called? Vince Pally, what was it called?
I never saw it.
Thank God. You see this movie, and you saw the job that he does Invincible. You saw the job he does in Invincible. First of all, the cinematography was terrible. It was a terrible movie put together. The information was all wrong. In fact, they filmed it in, since the vet was destroyed, they had to film it in, Franklin Fields. So the video's all messed up. They had an overhead shot of the stadium, and you got a track running around it. You knew the vet didn't have no track on it. But to see what his acting, that was, it's terrible. And they made such a big deal about it, like it was going to be a special movie. Bogus, all the way around. You guys, man.
You got open arms.
I got to teach these dudes, man. You're youngins, man. You're except for Brent.
I'm not young. I don't be pissed because I'm well-rounded.
You're well-rounded, yeah.
Especially in the stomach area.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mrs. G for putting up with me.
Who the hell's Mrs.
So
G?
Mrs. Chef for putting up with me.
Mrs. G. What? No.
It was our anniversary last week.
Oh, there you
Congratulations.
go. A little shout down. What are you married? 7 years?
11.
That was been 11 years since that party?
Yeah.
At the what the Kathmandu?
That was a good party.
Yeah, it was. That was a funky one. So it's one of the few times when the ex and I had a good time. Was she even there?
Yeah, I think so. You're asking me?
Oh shit. Any parting words, boys?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Evans.
Chris Pratt. What's the any one thing in the Super Bowl that surprised you, or it was that ticked you off?
Nothing really surprised. I mean, nothing we haven't covered. I mean,
Nothing ticked me off too. I thought it was
it was the game went smoothly.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
I looked up and I was like, it was like 2 minutes up in the second quarter. I've been here for an hour.
Do you know what ticked me off? It did tick me off, but they rushed that post game. They rushed it. You saw what they were doing.
You're saying they rushed it?
They wanted to put on that what's the show that comes on?
Blacklist.
They were so into
it.
No,
everybody was.
Listen to me. They were rushing everybody. Usually the Super Bowl, it's into 11, 12 o'clock, and they're out there, and you go to the post game. They didn't have that short post game, and they rushed this thing because I can see me on interviews and stuff. I mean, I know Kraft was drunk. They got him off there fast. Brady and everybody, they ran through it real fast, and then they kind of let ESPN take it over or whatever they were going to do. But they were so. Once again, it's about getting everything in there.
I saw a lot of people on social media were actually mocking how long the trophy presentation with Warner is taking. They were saying,
it's complete opposite. I
thought it was fine.
I blinked and it was done.
I mean, he was walking for a while. We got to get through, 55.
I think it was. I think he had too many Pete Carroll interviews. They kept going back to him. He's all stuttering and running. He still is. I maybe turn him on to him. He's still going like that. I think he's going to go insane. I think this is going to be one of those moments where he's never going to stop answering the question, and it's probably going to make him insane because if he doesn't answer it, like he doesn't come out and say, "Fucked it up, man. I made a mistake. It was my fault."
Well, no one can say that.
If he doesn't, they're going to keep but they haven't said why he ran that play. He's not answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you earlier. You're not a fan of
He hates Pete Carroll. Ever since college,
he doesn't deserve his ring.
I didn't like Pete Carroll when he was a Jet coach. He was just, there was some things that were going on.
He's the ultimate players coach.
He lets everybody get away with murder. That's what he does. In college, he's doing it now. That's why, his team is what they are. They got away with a lot of stuff this year.
Super Bowl champion.
They ain't no more. Guess what?
Still war. Can't take that away from him. On his tombstone, he's going to have that ring.
Listen, there's something on his tombstone. That's great. And I will, but we'll still both be in the ground.
Well, bury him with it, right?
You can't take it away from him.
Nah, Pete Carroll, I've always been able to tell you, I've never liked Pete Carroll. There's guys in the NFL I don't like, and I'm not a complete hater, like you quoted me today. This is a negative show.
It's a negative show.
What? Listen, the negativeness, and we go after the bad because the bad's got a story. The good will have a good story. I mean, the good, you tell the story and it's over. Oh, Johnny Manziel, he's a great ball player. Okay, all right, Johnny. What else? That's it. Okay, bye. No, Johnny Manziel, you're a drunken bum. You can't play football, and you're full of crap, and you're wasting it. That's good stuff. That keeps going on and on. That's what we like.
Johnny's a gift that keeps on giving.
He is. It's like Brett Favre was a gift that kept on giving. Tony Romo was a gift that kept on giving, even though he wasn't doing the giving.
I wanted to mention that earlier, but you mentioned Russell Wilson's reaction to the interception. Remember Romo when he blew that playoff game when he dropped that ball? Head in hands.
Seattle?
Head in hands, yeah.
As a rookie, as a second year.
But I'm saying that's the reaction you should have when you blew a big game.
Yes, exactly.
You should be head in hands.
And
Wilson kind of like,
no, because Russell went to the line of scrimmage and says, I can't believe we're running this play. If I had to read a quarterback's eyes, and when he came up there, and I didn't see the beginning, but once that play was over, they went this, and you saw his eyes, and I was shocked that there was no expression on him. And that tells me that he knew the play he was running was the wrong thing to do. He had to execute it or he was in trouble. And if he didn't execute, the clock was going to stop. So there's nothing good can come out of that play. Okay, the touchdown or about 10 things that were bad. That's why that play should have been run. You put the ball on the running back's hand.
The risk reward, yeah.
Yeah, you put the running back, first of all, you got a running back there who doesn't fumble the football. Okay? He tucks that thing like nobody else. And if he doesn't make it on one, you're not going to stop Marshawn Lynch 3 times on the 1.5 inch. It's just not going to happen. You know why? Because the beating the two offensive are going to take is going to make everybody collapse anyway. Come on, that was it. So something's up there, and we'll hear about it as we go. Once we get through the deflate gate, we're going to get to what happened in Seattle, why they did what they did over there. But this is great because this is part of what the NFL does. Now the Super Bowl's over. Years ago, the Super Bowl, NFL would end to the draft. You don't hear too much anymore. Now there's so many outlets for them to make money on, whether it's Yahoo Sports, Google, TV shows, 100 sports channels now. You flip all day long. So if they can make noise and entertainment and get advertisers and roll the money around, they're going to do it. So now they'll stretch out the deflate gate to where they're going to. This is what they're going to do. They're going to hire a 3-man panel. Okay. If this one guy doesn't get it right, they're going to hire a 3-man panel with 3 lawyers who need to be paid. And they'll stretch that out. And also Seattle thing will be stretched out a couple of weeks too. And they'll make it, somehow the NFL will stay in the news till the draft.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to figure it out.
What's going on in Atlanta? Something going on funky in Atlanta too? Is that
with a stadium thing over there or something like that?
So with the noise piped in or something like that?
Yeah, now they're
cheating that
way. Cheating that way.
It didn't work, obviously.
No, obviously, but
Atlanta? They won 5 games.
They screwed their own team. Sometimes it backfires.
Worked against it. Unless all 5 wins were at home, then it didn't work.
Do you think in deflate gate, okay, or debacle game, what do you call it, if Brady was picked off twice and they returned for touchdowns, they'd be talking about deflated balls over there?
I don't think the whole situation matters.
That's when it comes to making cash.
And then of course we always have Rex Ryan always put.
Oh yes, we got him. I forgot about him.
Don't worry, we got plenty of Patriots.
He's doing commercials all over the place now in Buffalo. They anointed him already. He won Super Bowls over there.
Oh no! Check this out. He's getting fresh ink to cover up that Jets tattoo with a bill now. Well, it's trending now on Facebook and Twitter.
What's the Sanchez tattoo?
Yes, I guess. I don't know.
You know what I want?
Rex Ryan gets tattooed.
Wait.
Bill.
He doesn't really have a Sanchez tattoo, does he?
He's got some kind of Jets tattoo.
Yeah, his wife had a Sanchez tattoo or something like that.
That's even creepier.
Nah, it's not creepier. It's NFL.
I want him to keep getting fired and getting new jobs. So that tattoo is to keep getting covered and keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until that's just his whole arm. He's got one big giant, buccaneer down his arm. 10 years.
You got to hand it to the guy because he's another one who is taking advantage of the NFL and what it is. It's a money-making organization for everyone who's willing to work. And that's it. That's just the way it is, man. I mean, that's what goes on here. The more crazy stuff you do, it seems like the more publicity you get in the NFL. Adrian Peterson is being looked at by who? The Dallas Cowboys now.
Of course.
Okay,
Jerry
Jones
wanted him from day one.
No, what's he going to do? Get rid of what's his name?
Murray.
Marcus Murray.
Well, they're definitely getting rid of him. They purposely ran him into the ground. You don't get 400 carries.
Yeah,
and then you give him an extension the next year. You don't do that.
Peterson might not be a bad move for him. Peterson's, I don't think he's washed up yet. And,
no, he had a full year off. He's going to get
that's right. That's right. So Jerry's going to buy a Super Bowl. Or he's going to try to buy one now. He's so bummed that Jerry Jones. What happened to him? That's good. I mean, Jerry's another one. As long as he's around, we got at least 40 minutes of stuff to do. If we
only have 40 minutes left on this earth. You better hurry up and do something.
Let me tell you something. His kids want him out faster than anything. Because I'm telling you, as soon as he goes, the two boys take over that one, get themselves a general manager, and put an organization there to maybe can win some football games with talent. Because I think if he has a general manager
Name
now,
one kid who's ever inherited a team and done well. They all blow
I wouldn't know.
They all blow it.
Ursay?
I don't think he inherited it.
Yeah, Ursay, the owner. Ursay's the son of
He's still there, isn't he? Jim Irsay?
The old Ursay, he died. The one who took the team.
He's still there.
Did the father still there?
Jim Irsay's still alive, absolutely.
My son was named Jim too. But check on that, man.
Well, somebody's like 80 years old and alive. So
yeah. Well, anyway, it's the kid. The kid wants the team. That's the deal.
Possibly.
Yeah. But that's okay. You're right. That's just
the Lakers kid.
Yeah. Well, I understand that.
Butchered that team.
I think Jones's kids have been around for the last 6 years or so. I think in 6 or 7 years, so they're learning. They were smart enough to pull that Manziel card out of his hand. He's had some kind of sense to them. I'd like to thank all our advertisers, Apple Public Adjusters, Resnick Plumbing. Who else? Oh, Auto Magic Car Care.
The one and only.
Mikey Primo and Matty Litton. Shining up your cars. Boy, you're going to need those guys soon the way the crap is on the streets around here. If they think it's going to snow, they put down the sand now. Now it's blowing all over the place out there. My truck's white. It's actually black, but it's white. BZI Insurance Group. Remember we told you about this guy, my man Brian. He is the expert of Obamacare. If you have trouble getting around with that, give him a call. 1-800-431-4834. And I emphasize getting a hold of him for any of your insurance needs because he gets it done. He's got the John Doe for what's going on with this Obamacare. Chef, it's always a pleasure. Mike, wear a hat next time. I don't like that haircut. Cassie King, Sports Goombahs webcast. Well, we'll be back next week with all the fun facts. And we'll start the NFL
felony report. NFL felony report.
Stop that. Now it's just starting to broaden.
It's picking up now that I got nothing to do.
They got nothing to do, right? Yeah,
even that frisky.
Even the announcers now are starting to get into it. Cassie King, this is Sports Goombahs. We'll see you next week. Oh, man. We had 10-11 for a while there. And the second, as it got later, it shifted down. Last week we were good for 40 hits. 40s seem to be our average outside that 500 day and that 250. Trying out there. I'm trying to get some new people to listen on the show just for the hell of it. That was a good show, right? Yeah. We did good. We kept it going.
He knew it was not long though. It's Super Bowl.
Yeah, we didn't win that long.
10 minutes over.
I'm saying it's longer than normally. Next week, I can promise you, we're probably not going to get 2 hours.
We don't. We do. We manage it, man.
I'm fine with it. I'm just saying this.
Well, we got to get into the movie shit and stuff like that. Was a good little back and forth there. It gets other people involved.
My girlfriend texted me because she was the one I had the argument with.
Oh, what?
About Chris Pratt. She had no idea who he was.
Fuck you, man. He's busting on me, and the girl he's in love with got the same thing. He's giving me shit. She's close to your age.
She drew up a text and was going to send it to you. And she's like, should I send that? Chris Pratt. She was going to send it to the line.
Chris said, you guys are crazy. Funny show.
Text me her number. Text me her number to me. I want to give her something back, but I want to tell you what it is first.
Okay.
We give her she gets his seat next week. I got a girl that might come on the show. This girl Stephanie that I talked to online.